Plum Supply kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
HawkFanatics.com brought to you by Dr. Lance Forbes, Diamond Dental in Cedar Rapids, Dirk Sterner, Taxidermy, Wild Rose Casino in Clinton, Streets Maintenance, the Oxyokin and the Amanas with their great Sunday brunch, Premier Automotive in North Liberty, the Sanctuary Pub in South Gilbert, Hertine and Stocker Jewelers, 101 South Dubuque Street, downtown Iowa City, the Midtown Family Restaurants, Supple's Flowers, the home of 1-800-800-ROSE, GT Car and his great crew at Supple's Building and Remodeling, Mike's E-Keys for Cars, Steve Anderson, Hawkeye Title and Settlement, and Patrick Eads, his son Tyler, and everyone at Deary Brothers Ford on Mormon Truck. Here is Tom Suter, along with Pat Harty from HawkFanatic.com. And before you start things off, the headline today in the Charlotte Observer, Iowa's Caitlin Clark surpassed the hype. Charlotte and women's basketball 1-2.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, there were 16,000 people there.
Boy, yeah, it was amazing, wasn't it?
Most to watch a women's game there. I mean,
Yeah.
but this is getting to be routine for us.
It is.
I mean, now they're talking about selling out all their road games, and what's funny is she drops 44, and she didn't even shoot very well.
No,
missed
she
a
didn't.
lot of wide open threes, and she'd be the first one to tell. Nobody in that game shot well. God, Virginia Tech was terrible.
Amore
She was good, but other than that, they missed so
They
many
did.
chip shots.
And Iowa was, about 25% from three? Something like that?
Yeah, it was brutal. I mean, it was
was.
brutal, but they found a way to win, and a little lower scoring than I thought. That's lower scoring than they want to be, but they still found a way to win. And Kitley just never really got going. I mean, she missed a lot of shots in the elbow.
She did. She got had a good fourth quarter. I think she had 10 points.
But
she had 16 points total, and that's under her average.
Yeah,
right?
and they were playing catch-up for a big part of that. But no, it was great for women's basketball. It was a fun game to watch.
It was.
And, I mean, then the interview with Caitlin afterwards, all the report, it's like the Beatles. I mean,
It was weird, wasn't it? It was like the paparazzi were all around.
yeah.
And see, it was weird.
It's going to be interesting to see how that translates when she goes to the WNBA, because there's a lot of other popular players. It'll be interesting to see. I think she's going to be a great scorer in the WNBA, but I think she's going to be a better point guard passer because she's going to have such good players around her wherever she is, and I still think she's a better passer than shooter.
Well, I think you're right.
I really do. I just think she has to score. She's probably going to have to score more this year for this team. I mean, that's my observation from last night. She averaged 27. This year she might have to push that to 30 if they're going to win some of these big games. Because, I mean, did Gabby score?
No.
I mean, she has games like that. Remember last year? Now, she finally got hot. But it's going to be – you would assume that Gabby and Kate or Hannah would be the second option on offense as the season goes. But it may be one of those things that changes night to night.
And it could. I imagine that Hannah would be my guess for number two, but
See, I figured it would have been Kate. But she does a lot of other things.
She
that.
does.
But I think Kate and Gabby may have to score more this year. Because, I mean, they missed Cesano last night.
Oh, sure they did.
And they didn't. What did they say about O'Grady?
I think she was hurt. I'm not sure what exactly it was.
But yeah, they missed Monica. And when I was strange, I just didn't think Virginia Tech defended Caitlin that well.
No.
I mean, I couldn't figure out what they were doing. I mean, there were a couple times where they even went under the screen and they just always gave her room. They rarely double teamed her. They let her easily get to the basket. Their help defense was bad. I thought their help defense was terrible, but maybe that's her causing that too. But yeah, I mean, here we are 2 games into the season, and they are living up to the hype. Now they go to Northern Iowa.
Yeah, which is not going to be a
that won't
cakewalk.
be. They should win though. They're a better team, but you never know. I mean, stranger things have definitely happened in sports. So it's one of those things where it'll be interesting to see. You know, those Northern Iowa fans are going to be ready for Caitlin. They're going to try to get under her skin. And they can do that. Remember when they got Fran mad?
Yeah.
Well,
we haven't been back since.
Haven't been back since.
Yeah, he really got mad.
Really got mad. But yeah, that'll be an interesting test. So there'll be 3 games into the season with 2 pretty stiff tests.
Yeah, it was a really good challenge last night, and boy, did they meet it. I thought Kylie Feuerbach had her.
She had those 6 points were huge.
They were.
Yeah, they were huge, and I mean, she was a pretty decent recruit coming out of high school. I think she and Caitlin played together in some AAU ball, so they're familiar. And I think you could see on Caitlin's face how happy she was. Caitlin realizes they need someone like Kylie Feuerbach to step up this year.
They do.
Because this is not the same team as last year.
No.
It's not.
And Molly wasn't up to the task last night.
No, she's going to have games like that against good teams because she's just not – her height, I think, is a –
Yep.
And it's one of those things where when she played at Central, she was one of their first or second options and could shoot and miss shots and still keep going. She doesn't have that luxury at Iowa. I mean, she's a complimentary player. And so, yeah, I mean, but still, they found a way to win. But, I mean, they scored 80, and Caitlin had 44. So, I mean, like I told you before, my biggest concern with this team is second, third options and depth and quality depth off the bench. So
fair enough.
We shall see, because Kate Martin's a great player, but she's never had to be a scorer, really. She scores with the flow of the game. And I just don't think you can have Caitlin getting 40 and 50 and beating everybody. Some teams are going to figure out a way to, okay, let her have her 50. Here's what we'll do with the other ones.
And historically...
And it was close last night.
Yes, it was. Your observation's a good one. I think I saw where when she scores 40 or more points, she's 6-3.
Yeah.
Iowa is.
Yeah, and the one game was at Michigan. They lost where she got really hot. But, I mean, Virginia Tech almost won last night. I just didn't think they played well at all. And they still almost won that game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but no, like I said, we're trying to provide some even keel balance here. I don't want to get ready to say, "Oh, this is the best Iowa team I think I've ever seen." Right now, I mean, at this stage this year compared to last year's team after 2 games, I think last year's team's better. I mean, because that's Monica and McKenna Warnock. Those are 2 pieces that I'm not sure they're going to be able to replace.
Well, we'll see. I mean, we got a bunch more games to play, obviously.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying after 2. I'm just saying last year's team right now, to me, has a higher upside than this team. But that's just me, and that could easily change. There's just too many unproven factors right now. But when I'm saying that, too, I'm also talking about a team that made it to the national championship game. So I'm not like
But they did struggle in the early season last year, lost to K-State.
Yeah, they did.
Drake took them to overtime, which was a hell of a game.
Mm-hmm.
We got a call, Stephen?
Yeah. Hello.
Hello. I think the one thing that kept Virginia Tech in was the fact that one gal was shooting those threes.
Georgia Amore? Yeah, she's great.
Oh, yeah, same way that kept Iowa ahead was Caitlin scoring points. One at 44, the other at, 33, 31?
Yeah.
And Stolke's a little bit small for that's how she fouled out. She kept trying to guard in there somebody taller than her. And
that's going to be an issue. I mean, that will be one of the things that I was talking about. Susano's going to be hard to replace.
It was an interesting starting lineup, I thought. And, we won the game, but have Molly and Sharon start was very interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
But then I didn't know that Addie was hurt at the time. But I don't know if she would have started anyway.
But I think this is a team on any given night they can beat anybody, especially if Caitlin just goes off. But I said that about last year's team, too.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
But you keep wondering, how come we're lacking in threes when they go out there and practice
well,
before
that's just how the game
starts?
is. That's how
everybody is hitting.
That's how the game is, Corn. Steph Curry has off nights every once in a while.
It's worth the shot's worth 3 points for a reason. They're not easy to make.
Yeah, but that's just that is how it is.
But sometimes nobody's around them, and they still can't make the.
Yeah.
Well, they're shots from 18, 19 feet. They're not easy to make.
Do you think they're rushing their shots?
No, I just think they missed. I don't think there's any.
Because in practice, you watch them, and they're just hitting them all over the place.
That's practice, though. It's much different.
Yeah. They're more relaxed, I guess.
Well, Gabby Marshall's a streak shooter. I mean, that's just how she is. She's more of a defensive player. She's hitting.
Well, and she'll come into some games and have 6 threes.
Yeah, and Caitlin was not shooting well from outside last
5
night.
of 16, I think, from 3.
Yeah, and that's, that's not.
But that's how the game is, though. She has games like that, and she'll be the first to say it. The game's not easy.
No.
And what do you think the men will do tonight?
Win.
Yeah.
By lots?
Yes.
Probably.
And how many people do you think will be there?
That I don't know.
Let's see. What is this, Friday night at 7 o'clock?
With
yeah,
football
and you got soccer and you got volleyball at the same time.
And you've got construction because so one of the parking lots is not there.
Yeah.
Well, what was it estimated at the other night?
Well, they listed it at
Well,
70.
they said 7,000, a little over 7,000.
They said 7,600.
There were maybe 3.
That's what I was told, somewhere between 2 and 4.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Well, at that Quincy game, there was a little over 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
It's going to be a tough draw tonight.
Yeah, and then tomorrow you predict Rutgers is going to win?
No. I picked Iowa to win 11-10.
11-10.
I don't know. I haven't.
But no, I would not be after reading these. Rutgers is way better than I thought.
No, they're
solid. They're a good team. But I'm still not convinced that they're going that much of a breakthrough this year. But maybe they will. Maybe they'll come and win this game and they go 9-3. This
huge win for them if they do.
This would be a huge win for them. Yes.
Well, okay, guys. Well, let's hope it doesn't get too cold for tomorrow.
It's not. It's 49, 50. It'll be fine.
For November football.
For November, it's excellent.
I'm sure
that should be
with
okay.
a little coat on in the stands. It's probably comfortable, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be warmer next week. So.
Yeah.
Okay, Doc. Well, have a good day.
I should probably be okay with a long sleeve T-shirt and a hoodie.
I remember one.
And a big Billy of Scotch. That'll keep you
There
warm.
you go.
Remember, and right around this time, one November game when it was like 9 degrees, 10 degrees.
Was it the Minnesota or Michigan? One of those two games was super cold, I remember.
I think it was Minnesota.
Ann caught her coat on fire.
That might have been Michigan.
Okay.
But, yeah, she did catch her coat on fire. And she kept that coat for another 15 years with the black duct tape on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Finally replaced it, I think, a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But I did my position breakdowns. I gave Rutgers every advantage on offense at each position. I gave Iowa every advantage on defense. But, man, it was close on defense, especially in the secondary. Their secondary is really good. Their running game is just so much better. And everyone says, well, Wimps can't pass. He's thrown for almost 1,300. Nobody associated with Iowa as a media fan, anyone should be critiquing other teams' ability to throw the ball. Wimsatt is not a great passer yet, but compared to Iowa's, he's Tom Brady and Warren Moon combined. You know, he's just, I mean, but their stats are impressive.
We're going to have to control that running back because he is solid.
I think if the offense is horrible tomorrow, even by Iowa standard, I think they're going to lose. I have them winning 11-10, and I was asked 3 field goals and a safety. That's really not that unusual for Iowa. No. I would not be surprised if they won 11-10 tomorrow, and the defense and that Rutgers maybe moves the ball from the 20 to the 20, but can't score touchdowns because the Iowa defense is good. That's kind of what I think is going to happen, and I think Torrey Taylor will be big. And I think Iowa will just do all the little things that it normally does to win a game. And I'm just not convinced Wimsatt's going to be able to throw touchdowns in the red zone or get himself in the red zone. Iowa's pretty good when it has to stiffen up in the red zone. But we'll see. This Kyle Monaghan, he's really good.
Monangi.
I'm not sure. He's ran for almost 1,000 yards. I mean, he's a really good running back. He's 5'9", 210. He breaks tackles. Their receivers are vastly superior. I even gave them the edge at tight end. They got this Johnny Langan. He doesn't have great stats. He's got like 13 catches, but he's a former quarterback who can throw the ball as a tight end. I've seen him given and he can run. And I gave them a slight edge even at tight end because, I mean, Iowa's tight ends right now, Stilianos and Stringa have combined for 11 catches. If Iowa even had Eric All, it would be no comparison. Eric All still leads Iowa in receiving, and Lachey is third on the team in catches.
Isn't that just astounding?
Do we want to read? Should I read them off?
I mean, that really is astounding.
Is it more astounding or more sad?
Take your pick.
Astounding can be sad at times, right? Okay,
yes.
Here we go. All right. So, receiving. Eric All, 7. Eric All had games played 7, catches 21 for 299. Man, he was on course to have a really good year.
He sure was.
Okay, number 2 for receptions is Nico Reganey, 15 for 119, 7.9 yards per catch, no touchdown, long of 29. Third in catches is Deontay Vines, 9 games, 12 for 134, 11.2 per catch, 1 touchdown, long of 36. Fourth on the team in catches, but third in yards is Luke Lachey. 3 games, 10 catches, 131 yards, 13.1, long of 35. Then you got LaShawn Williams, 9 of 44. Seth Anderson, 9 games, 7 catches, 94 yards, 13.4, 1 touchdown, long of 36. Then the only other receiver is Caleb Brown with his 1 catch for 23. They don't have any receiver on this team that has a catch longer than 36 yards.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
Those numbers are just incredible.
They're horrible.
I mean, they're horrible, incredible, however you want to put it.
So the longest pass of the season was the first drive of the year, that touchdown
Seth
to
Anderson
Anderson?
and Deontay Vines, the one where Vines had the tightrope at the sideline and make a Lynn Swan type.
Yes.
That gained 36 yards, and it was just so hard for it to happen.
And how long was Anderson's?
36. They were both 36.
Yep.
So there you go.
On the first drive of the season.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's wow. Those numbers are staggering.
They are. Whatever number you or whatever word you want to use.
What do you think Hayden would think of those numbers? I wonder what Hayden would say about this offense. Oh, Patty, I don't know.
Patty, I ain't never seen anything like it.
I like Kirky. I think he would shake his head. But yeah, and yet I still think they're going to win tomorrow. Tomorrow I still think they're going to win. Now I'm 55-45. I'm not standing here on a soapbox. But I think they're going to win. But I could come in here Monday if they lose, and I would not be surprised.
Oh my God, no, not at all. I mean, this team could still lose the next 3 games.
They could lose to Illinois. What's funny is Illinois could still win this thing. If Iowa loses one more game besides Illinois, and Illinois wins out,
do they have 4 losses?
They're 2-4. Illinois could win a tiebreaker at 5-4. That's what I think the Big Ten West needs to send a 5-4 team to the. I say that jokingly because I don't want Iowa to lose 2 more games, but I wouldn't be surprised if a 5-4 team went to the.
No,
not at all.
Well, wasn't Purdue 5-4 last year?
I thought they were 6-3. Iowa was 5-4.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, but that would not surprise me at all.
By the way, that was according to Tommy Lang, and caught a coat on fire at the Nebraska game because he was standing next to her with Bud.
So is it Tommy's fault then that he was standing next to Ann?
I believe he pushed her into the fire.
I don't doubt it. Wow. Well, thank you, Tommy. That's good info.
So this was from tailgating?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it was really freaking cold, and they had one of those flame heaters.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That just sounds miserable.
Ann got a little close.
Just sounds miserable.
Oh, I was just freezing. I was just freaking freezing.
Would you rather tailgate in 10-degree weather or 110?
110.
You know, as much as I hate hot weather, 110. Because, I was frozen. It was.
I was in the press box, so I was.
I know
fine.
you were all toasty.
No, 10 degrees is too cold. It's not very fun.
No.
Well, there was a wind. It was.
Hell, for me, for tailgating, 30 and 40 is almost pushing it. I mean, tomorrow 50. That'll be okay.
That's pretty good.
Just wear a hat if you'll be fine. And then when you're crunched in together with all the fans, it should be comfortable almost in a way. And for the players, that won't be an issue at all.
No,
it doesn't look like it's going to be really windy.
No, it's going to be sunny. It'll be sunny on the field.
But here, I'll read you a little bit about Rutgers because I brought props in, stats. I got data, info.
Show prep.
Notable. Rutgers is on the road. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, Rutgers is 6-3, the most wins in a season since going 8-5 in 2014. Rutgers owns 3 Big Ten wins, matching the program highs previously set in 14, 17, and 20. Rutgers is bowl eligible for the 7th time under head coach Greg Schiano and is poised to earn the 12th bowl invitation in program history. Schiano came at a heavy price, $32 million, but he's delivering. He's rebuilding the program Rutgers is the most improved team in the Big Ten in total offense, plus 48.8 yards, and scoring offense, plus 9. They're averaging 10 points more a game this year. And let's see, they're averaging 26.8, so they're meeting the performance incentives in Brian Ferentz's contract. Rutgers is.
Well, they need one more win.
Well, they need one more win, but points-wise, they're actually – so Beth will not have to talk to any of the Rutgers coaches while they're here.
I will say that they mentioned that contract within the first 30 minutes.
Oh, the Brian Ferentz thing's going to be – the TV will – that's going to be a main storyline the rest of the year. And it's deserving so. It's an odd situation. Hey, the head coach's son is the lame duck offensive coordinator because the interim AD fired him. I mean, think about those circumstances. And I don't have a problem with anything that's happened. I don't.
No.
The timing is a little suspect, but hey, that's her call.
You just get tired of him mentioning
And Barbara Wilson gave her. Oh, why I always say, every time I think of the president, I think of Hart.
No, that's
Ann and Nancy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's Barbara's here.
Yeah, I don't think she'd have much of a voice.
You don't think she could?
Singing.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
You're judging her prematurely.
I want to hear her sing at the.
I do a lot of things.
I want to hear her sing the Star Spangled Banner.
What about
one of the
Barracuda?
games.
Would you like her to sing Barracuda?
That'd be great.
Barracuda. I hate that song. And you guys both like it, I bet. And I will give you credit. I'm going to give Tommy Lang credit.
Okay.
I was driving yesterday, pissed off because I lost all my photos from my previous phone, lost all the pictures of my dogs, lost all the pictures of my parents because I didn't update the iCloud storage and it didn't save them. And they're all gone, and I was just so pissed. And I was proud, though. I wasn't mean to the Verizon people because it wasn't their fault. But I'm sitting there thinking, in this day and age, phones can't store. I don't get it. I hadn't updated.
It never sent it. Like, I know it's an iPhone, but it doesn't send things to Google.
What do you mean? Not that I'm aware of. They told me they're gone. Every photo. Look, I do have a couple photos of my dogs up on my mantle and a couple left of my parents. And my family has tons of photos of stuff. But I had a bunch of photos on my cell phone that at some point I was going to do, especially and they're all gone. I mean,
and they can't go back and retrieve.
Nope, they're gone. And I just think that
I don't know.
I don't know enough about it. Why there could be a simple explanation. They're like you needed to. Basically, it comes down to paying for data. It's an added expense.
Probably, yeah.
iCloud storage. That's where you store this stuff. iCloud.com, and I didn't do it, and they're all gone. And I was really pissed. But then I'm driving in the car, and all of a sudden you guys played Buggles, Video Killed the Radio Star. Then right after that, you played Ace Frehley, Back in the New York Groove. Then there was a crap song. And then after that, you played Joe Walsh, but in the city. What's that song? You know, the theme from the Warriors movie?
Yeah.
Somewhere out on the horizon. What's that song called?
Crap.
In the City? Yeah, I love that song. You don't like that song?
Yeah, I like.
Yeah, that was 3 out of 4
I
good
bet
songs.
I like that crap song. Too.
No, it was typical KCJJ crap. But I fought through it, and then you got me back on track, and that was Tommy. 3 out of 4.
Go in there one of these days, smack you.
And then you had a good song on this morning when I was driving in. There was another good song. What was it? What did you have on this morning?
I don't know.
But it was,
you can look.
But it was decent,
didn't you?
Yeah, then I got to get out of the screen.
I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
But I think what is going on is we're changing you.
You are. I've always loved Buggles' Video Killed. I love that.
That's
song.
a good song.
And I've always loved Ace Frehley, Back in the New York Groove. Those are 2 of my favorite songs.
So I don't know that song.
You would if you heard it.
I'm going to look.
He'd know that song if he heard it.
This weekend, because that doesn't sound right to me what he told you. I'm going to that you lost all your stuff because you didn't pay for data. That doesn't make.
I didn't put it in iCloud. That's where you store the stuff.
I understand that.
Well, yeah, if you can.
It's somewhere out there.
I mean, this was a tech person from Verizon.
People Bryson.
Yeah.
This was a tech person from Verizon telling me.
Something's good.
I'm going to be. Hey, the guy on the radio says you guys are screwed. He's looking into it.
Hey. Yeah.
Hey, like I said, if you can find them, but I lost photos of my father. I mean, just so many.
75-year-old radio guy, techie guy. You have some tech skills.
I have some.
You actually do.
We're on the air, aren't we?
Oh, who's zooming who? Aretha Franklin.
Yeah.
Zooming who? I love that song.
Hello.
Hey, Pat, have you checked your Google? Because on my iPhone, when I got it set back up, I talked to you the last time about the waiting period and that. I have my photos saved not only in the cloud, but they're also saved to Google.
I didn't have my photos saved. Okay.
It goes both ways.
I will check on that. I don't know how. Someone's going to have to help me. Dallas, are you listening? And I was checking that because I didn't do the iCloud thing, and that's what they're saying.
Yeah, but it's
well, they're there, but they're also, I would check I sign into whatever Google address you have.
Okay, I will do that.
Email,
okay,
and
thank
then
you.
Check that out and see if those photos are sitting there, because that's the same thing that happened to me. Finally, once I got the almost 1 month of waiting through Apple, all of my photos were there in the iCloud, but I have them backed up. I pay like $1 a month for.
See, that's what I didn't do. That's what I didn't do, and I think it's just my fault.
But Google has a certain amount of space.
Okay, I'll look into it.
So you might recover a lot of it.
All right, thanks.
Hey, go Hawks, guys.
All right,
Go
thank
Hawks.
you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Took me 4 trips to Verizon to get everything figured out.
I mean, I pay $1 for Google, but they give you a certain amount anyway. That's more than enough.
Okay, I'll look into it. But man, I had a ton of photos of my dogs.
Does it show up as a Google Play charge?
No, it just shows up in gallery.
You even saw one. You know the one with the dead bunny in front of him, Lakota, standing over his prey.
The dead bunny.
Yep.
That should be an art museum.
The dead bunnies. That's got to be a band. Isn't
Blow
it?
that up.
No, it's the dead Kennedys, right?
Yeah.
And stuff. But then as he got older, it was just the kill.
Well, I'm sorry, guys, but my dogs, I swear to God, my dogs have never
Oh, there's dogs like
just
that too.
killed things except for, and it was very humane what Rudy did because he'd go up to the bunnies.
Is he named after the guy from Notre Dame?
He was, yeah.
Are you serious?
Before I interviewed the guy from Notre Dame. Yeah, Mark Allen named him. Rudy.
Why would Mark
when he
Allen
was
name
out
your
here.
dog?
He was working here.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize he
at
worked
the
here.
time. Yeah,
Okay.
for like, 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, Wapsie killed a baby bunny a couple years ago.
Well,
for
Rudy
absolutely no reason.
Rudy would swallow him.
Well, I don't know if she was going to eat it or not. She probably would have.
Well, even Buddy, who was not violent when he was younger, when we lived over in Coralville, he went running out. And when Buddy was young, he used to jump like had springs. He would jump more than he would run. I'd laugh. He would get but he went out and pounced on something. And all of a sudden, I saw this white stuff pop up, and he had killed 3 or 4 tiny, tiny bunnies that had just nursed. And I will admit, I hurled.
Oh my God!
I hurled in the backyard. I'm like, what is wrong with you? But then I met Lakota, and it just took it to a whole new level.
How would Lakota been on Twitter?
But that was the only time I ever saw Buddy ever aggressive about anything. I remember when this little pug got loose in our yard, got into my backyard through the fence, and had Buddy cornered, and Buddy was like scared to death looking for me to do something. This little pug was mean. Little pugs can be mean.
Pugs are surly.
Chat room says, Pat, Google data recovery. I got to move this thing up because it's a damn hard thing. Data recovery company iPhone.
Data recovery company.
Okay,
iPhone.
like I said, I will look into it. Yeah, because if I can retrieve those photos, and there's a couple other things.
Yeah, write that down because I will not remember it.
What'd you say it is again?
Data recovery company iPhone.
Yeah, I'll type it into my phone, and I will Google it, and not right now, not while we're on the air.
I mean,
I'm just trying to. I've had 3.
And there's also one called Drive Savers. So
They do the same thing.
Yeah, well, I wonder what they charge.
I don't know. Well, it'd be worth it if you want
Yeah.
your pictures back. So, I don't know. Next phone you get, you should get like just. Androids are so much simpler. They just
Yeah, I mean,
are.
this was an adventure. The people at Verizon were okay. I think they get frustrated when people aren't as smart with phones as they are.
Oh,
But
of course they do.
Well,
and-
not only that, but they take a lot of grief.
they do.
Oh, sure they do.
They do. There was a lot of. I was probably the youngest customer in there yesterday, and there were some other ones battling.
Darn it.
And but the one thing is, I think this thing could have been fixed. I think the worker that I had, who was a manager, I don't believe he thought he could do something because my I'm on thing was on. That's what my old phone, the tracer thing, and they couldn't turn it off because the phone was dead. So we had to go through all this Apple crap, and then they got an Apple representative on the phone, and she's going through it with a guy from Verizon, and she's like, well, yeah, just delete it from blah blah blah. And he's like, okay, but we still need to turn off his I'm on, the search thing or whatever. And she's like, oh, that'll do it. And he's like, oh, really? So he didn't know that, and I think he could have done that maybe 2 or 3 trips earlier to the store had he known that. So that was a little frustrating, but it's finally it's over now. I've got I can download apps and whatever, but hopefully I can find the photos. But yeah, it was. I mean, Apple is very secure oriented, man. They are obsessive over security.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Everything that I've been on, it gets hacked. You know, and I've changed the password so many times on Facebook that I just finally said, screw this.
Well, now, like with this, it had to be at least 8 letters, 1 number, and just one thing had to be capital. Yeah. It's just...
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And you got to write it down and file it away, because if you don't, you'll never remember. I mean, it's just so
One of my and who would even think of this? My very first password was Dumont TV 1949 to 1955.
Someone hacked it?
And, they hacked it.
So would it have to be 24 letters or something like that?
I just made it so I thought nobody is ever going to get this.
Well, I think you can hack without going through the password.
Yeah, that's what the
they're way beyond,
passwords.
They're way beyond the
exactly
that stage right now.
Yeah, so it's ridiculous. And the 2-party notification crap.
Oh, I hate that.
That's ridiculous, too. They still hack you. You know, but what pisses me off about the 2-party one is when you're trying to pay something. Like, why do I have to verify that I'm trying to pay something? Yeah. I mean, if somebody wants to hack in there and pay my bills, let them.
Yeah, all for it.
There you go. Back to Rutgers football.
Back to Rutgers.
Rutgers ranks first in the Big Ten in fewest sacks allowed, 0.89. Second in rushing offense, 184.7. Second in fewest tackles for loss allowed, 3.67. Third in rushing touchdowns, 19. Fourth in time of possession, 32.18. And fifth in scoring offense. You know what that means right there? Rutgers has a really good offensive line. At least they have been this year. All those stats reflect a really good. Rutgers has 4 games with over 250 rushing yards this season. 9 games, matching the number of such games the previous 6 seasons combined, 70 games. The Scarlet Knights have 5 games this year with 200 or more rushing yards, the most since having 6 such games in 2007. Rutgers has posted 19 rushing touchdowns after posting 11 and 12 games last season. 6 different Scarlet Knights have rushed for a score. 10 of the 28 offensive drives have been 10 plays or more, and 9 have taken at least 5 minutes.
Wow.
So they're going to want to play the way Iowa wants to play.
Yes.
This is going to be I'm looking forward to this game. I think it's going to be an interesting game.
It is. It is.
And, there's always a chance there's going to be a game where the Iowa offense just comes out and just has a freaky, you know what I mean?
I said that to somebody yesterday.
That's going to happen sooner or later.
I said, one of these games...
Kind of like Ohio State in 17.
Iowa's going to inexplicably put up 4 or 5 touchdowns out of nowhere.
Yeah, just sooner. Yeah, and then, let's see. Rutgers has surrendered... This is interesting. Rutgers has surrendered just 7 turnovers on offense through 9 games, including 4 games with none.
And we're not very good at forcing
this defense
turnovers
is not
this
very
year.
good. Rutgers has allowed just 8 sacks so far this season, allowing 1 or 0 in 8 games. Oh. Rutgers is 13 for 20 on 4th downs. Rutgers is the most... Well, I've already read that one. And now let's look at the schedule just to see. Okay, Rutgers, they played Northwestern, and they beat Northwestern 24-7. That's more impressive than what Iowa did. Yep. They beat Temple 36-7. Not a great Temple team, but they beat them convincingly. They beat Virginia Tech 35-16. Virginia Tech at one point was 3-1 in the ACC.
Yep.
They lost at Michigan 31-7. But remember, we were that when
Rutgers scored the first
touchdown. That's when we were at Wild Rose.
Yes.
That was a competitive game until midway through the third quarter.
It was,
and they were matching Michigan's physicality. And then let's see, they lost at Wisconsin 24-13. That was disappointing. That was probably their worst game this year. But Wisconsin was a lot healthier then too. Let's see, they beat Michigan State 27-24, and I believe that was home. That was a game. That was home. They needed to win that game. That would have been a horrible loss for them, but they found a way to win because I remember watching a little bit of it, and they weren't great that day. And then I know Indiana's not very good, but they went there and beat them 31-14. Iowa's not going to Indiana and beating them 31-14.
Iowa's not getting 31 against anybody.
And then, of course, they lost to Ohio State 35-16, but led 10-9 at halftime. It was competitive until it was competitive. Ohio State scored some late scores, but no, they are. This is a good Rutgers team. If this game was in, like I said, if it was in Piscataway, I'd pick Rutgers to win.
Yeah,
just the gut feeling I would have, but it's not. It's here, and I give Iowa a slight edge because of home field advantage.
And the line currently is at 1.
which means they think Rutgers is.
Well,
You
yeah.
get 3 to host.
Iowa, yes, that's right.
So you people in the stands are going to be a big factor tomorrow. I mean, you guys could
I'll be ready.
play a role,
big
man.
responsibilities.
Big
Steve.
responsibilities.
I know.
Get hammered and then hammer Rutgers.
The,
I want to see you and Gatons run the field and go like grab Shauna's headset.
by the way, somebody tried to hack this guy in the chat room's Denny rewards card.
Seriously?
Denny's, yeah. Why in the hell?
I wouldn't mind having somebody pay for me to eat a nice Denny's breakfast.
But hack
I wouldn't steal it.
rewards card?
I wouldn't steal to get it. I wouldn't
So
steal.
you can, I'll have the Grand Slam.
Have you ever had a Denny's Grand Slam?
Oh, yeah.
They're good.
Oh, no, I like Denny's fine.
I do. I like breakfast. I mean,
I do
I'm
too.
like you. I like breakfast. And Denny's is fine. Hell, Bob Evans. I had breakfast
I
once.
think I've eaten
Bob Evans
there
is good.
once.
If you don't like eggs, you're not. I mean, Denny's.
Well, you don't like breakfast.
Yeah, I don't go to places like Denny's for lunch and dinner. I go there for breakfast. Do you like IHOP?
No,
Not really.
not at all.
I don't think I've been to the one here once. What don't you like about it?
The food.
Okay.
No, I mean,
You're not a pancake fan?
It's not just that. I had a burger there that was suspect. I mean, no, I don't like.
Well, it is the International House of Pancakes.
I mean,
But
I like
they also
pancakes.
serve lunch and
I like
dinner.
pancakes, but I never eat them, and I've never learned how to make
no,
them.
they're like pillows. I mean, I don't like.
But my mom used to make the butter and all this. I mean, they are good, but man, do they weigh on you.
The best the only pancakes I like
Perkins?
are Perkins.
Those I've had those. They're big. They're like the size of the plate. I used to go to Perkins a lot. I haven't gone there. It's open again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have not been there since they reopened. I just don't get out there that much.
I've had 3 bad experiences and haven't.
Plus, there's been so much construction in that area right over there.
Yeah.
It's just
ridiculous.
It's just been.
I've ordered potato pancakes once,
And we've heard, yep.
and it wasn't
Undercooked.
Yeah, they were undercooked. I ordered pancakes once, and they were undercooked.
See, that's
I don't
gross.
know
Now,
what
not
to
as
do
gross
with
as
it.
fish or chicken being
And one
undercooked.
was overcooked. So I haven't gone back there.
Well, I went and got a slice of Casey's breakfast pizza yesterday because I was super hungry. And it was big and it was a little well done, which is perfect for me. I was stuffed. For all I had the rest of the day was 2 tacos from Taco John's and a piece of chicken from Hy-Vee. That's all I had. That Casey's pizza lived with me for the rest of that day.
Yeah, it's delicious.
I mean, it was a huge slice of pizza, and it was really
No,
good.
their slices are big.
It was. This was big though. There was a little one next to it. And I even looked to the guy who was made. I go, gee, which one would you take for the same price? And there was the one like this, and then I could have floated down the river on this thing.
I filled up and I don't know who cut it, but
They don't advertise, do they?
No.
Pizza's not as good.
Pizza's not very good.
I go there a lot though. The one on the corner, it's convenient.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
not
it
good.
was a sliver.
Of what
and
kind?
then
Breakfast or
no regular pizza?
yeah.
A sliver, then a gigantic piece.
Yeah,
Then I mean, who in the hell is?
but that
cutting
happens
it?
sometimes at Casey's too. I mean,
Well, who's cutting the?
I know when
damn
I saw
pizza?
this one, I'm like, look, and see, I like stuff a little well done, especially I like it to be more cooked than under.
Yeah.
And this thing it wasn't burnt, but all the cheese and egg was brown. I'm like, this is perfect. But about 3/4 of the way through it, I'm like, okay, I don't really need any more. I mean, they're pieces of. I mean, could you eat 2 or 3 breakfast slices? I think I would be
I don't know.
ill if I did.
I've never eaten more than one.
I've never eaten more than one either. That's what I do now instead of getting.
And I've been plenty happy with just one.
Because there's no way I could down unless I was just miserably drunk and hungry. There's no way I could down a full Casey's pizza, as
No.
thick as they are.
No.
Hello.
Hey guys, Joe calling from LA. How are you guys? this
Hey, Joe.
morning?
Hey, Joe.
Driving into work, so I got to listen to you for a couple minutes. Captain, I'm going to be able to help you connect to a younger demo. My daughter's 11, and all her friends, instead of saying the hamburger was suspect, they all say sus. So if anything's suspect and you want to appeal to this younger demo, just
Sus.
say the hamburger was sus.
You know, it's
And there you go.
It's
a
kind
good
of
pointer.
hard for somebody 75 years old that's been speaking the King's English.
But that's because you're sus.
Yeah.
You got it. You got it, Tom.
Yeah.
I love your show, guys. Keep up the great work.
Thanks, Joe.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.
I've got to send him some T-shirts.
Can we take a break? I got to respond to a.
Yeah.
Let's take
Well,
a
we
break.
should anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We'll be right back.
Why?
1-800-800-ROSE.
1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist is the only number you need to know to send flowers anywhere in the country or Canada from anywhere in the country.
1-800-800-ROSE.
It's so easy. Just remember one number, 1-800-800-ROSE, your FTD florist.
1-800-800-ROSE.
Remember,
for a gift that your loved one will treasure for a lifetime, find it at our family-owned jewelry store in Iowa City, 13 and Stocker Jewelers.
We can show you diamond engagement rings, colored stones, fashion jewelry, and watches.
Our jewelers are on site, so we can design jewelry for that special person in your life.
We are Harty and Stocker, serving Iowa City and the surrounding area for 3 generations.
Harty and Stocker Jewelers, downtown Iowa City, and HartyandStockerJewelers.com. Ask for Willa, Terry, Tim, or Kate. One of us is always there.
Don't wait for an emergency to get a backup for your car keys. Unlike the olden days, car keys have gotten extremely complex. Mike's eKeys for Cars can generate the most technically advanced automotive keys that are on the market today. For spares and lost keys, Mike's eKeys for Cars can produce most conventional transponder, high security, and remote head keys. Mike's eKeys for Cars will keep you on the road. Call 319-330-9185 and schedule an appointment today. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 319-330-9185 today.
Are you tired of living in a home that doesn't quite meet your needs? Then it's time to call the experts at Streets Maintenance. Their team of skilled professionals specializes in renovations and remodeling, transforming your home into the space you've always dreamed of. From kitchen bath remodels to complete home renovations, no job is too big or too small. Streets Maintenance will work with you every step of the way to ensure your vision becomes a reality. So don't wait any longer. Call Streets Maintenance to schedule your consultation at 400-4483. Let's start building your dream home today.
Hawkeye fans, you love watching the black and gold. You know Hawkeye black and gold. As a Hawkeye fan, there are no better colors than the Hawkeye black and gold. Hi, I'm Steve Anderson. When you're buying, selling, or refinancing your property, consider the green and white team, Hawkeye Title and Settlement. Give us a call at 351-8600. Hawkeye Title and Settlement. The team you love, the people you trust.
Don't let just anyone take care of your smile. At Diamond Dental, you can expect compassion, expertise, and a personalized care plan to protect your teeth for life. With more than 30 years of combined experience, Dr. Forbes and his staff are prepared to tackle even your toughest dental problems, leaving your smile healthy and sparkling. Diamond Dental offers a full range of general and cosmetic dentistry, as well as dental treatment options for snoring and sleep apnea. It's never too early to start thinking about what's best for your smile. Schedule an appointment today by calling 319-390-3703 or visiting the office at 5815 Consul Street Northeast, Suite D1 in Cedar Rapids. You can also visit DiamondDentalPC.com for more information. Dr. Forbes is a proud sponsor of the Hawkeye Wrestling Club and the Inner Circle. Let the Diamond Dental team provide superior care for your entire family.
The Sanctuary Pub in downtown Iowa City has been a fixture since 1972 and still features a classic menu such as the classic shepherd's pie, handcrafted pizzas, and craft beers and cocktails. The Sanctuary Pub is known for its warm and cozy atmosphere. That's the perfect place to spend time with family and friends while enjoying live music. Support great local food with socially distanced dine-in, carry-out, and delivery through Chomp Delivery. The Sanctuary Pub is located at 405 South Gilbert Street. Full menu options are online at sanctuarypub.com. Come experience the Sanctuary Pub. You won't ever want to leave.
Car won't go into gear? Call Premier. Premier Automotive in North Liberty offers full-service mechanical auto repair, in addition to being Eastern Iowa's most trusted name in auto body repair. Use Premier for all your auto repair needs: brakes, oil changes, air conditioning, diagnostics, transmissions, or preventative maintenance. Whether you hit a deer or your car won't go into gear, see Premier Automotive in North Liberty. When you go to a family restaurant, you want three things. One, a wide selection of breakfast, lunch, and dinner items. Two, you want those selections to be affordable and delicious. And three, you want to be treated like family. You get all three at the Midtown Family Restaurant. Breakfast items available anytime the doors are open. Legendary tenderloins, onion rings, and hot roast beef sandwiches. And special ribeye and shrimp nights. Daily specials at each location. And no matter if you're coming in solo or with a group of 20, you get the same special family treatment. The Midtown Family Restaurants at Court and Scott Streets and at the Walmart Plaza on Highway 1 West. Follow them on Facebook or at MidtownFamily.com. The family's waiting for you. GT Carr, owner of Supple's Building and Remodeling, has been offering unmatched service and quality for over 25 years. The trained professionals at Supple's Building and Remodeling will install and guarantee the products used in any job, no matter how big or small. They also stand behind their work and offer no-nonsense, exceptional customer service from design to completion and beyond. Whether it's a simple window replacement or a major house addition, you'll have the confidence that Supple's Building and Remodeling is committed to quality. Visit supples.net or call them today at 319-337-2246.
If you're looking for a new or used car, truck, or SUV, you should know Deary Ford is here for you. To give you the best selection and pricing on new Fords, Deary Ford is here for you. To work with long-term experienced sales and service reps, Deary Ford is here for you. To give you the highest trade values, Deary Ford is here for you. To provide pickup and delivery and mobile service for our customers, Deary Ford is here for you. Hurry in or shop online at DearyFord.com.
Hi, this is Jill Sterner with Sterner Taxidermy in Lone Tree. It's hunting season again, and I'm inviting all of you hunters to follow us on our Facebook page. You can view Dirk's award-winning artistry, his workmanship that he completes with each individual piece. We can be reached at 319-330-1774. Again, 319-330-1774.
Football fans, this is Bill Leixenring of the Oxyoke Inn. We are on your way to or from the game. We're ready to serve you with the same quality food and customer service you've come to trust for over 80 years. The Oxyoke Inn is serving our famous Sunday brunch buffet with lunch, dinner, banquets, and carry-out daily. From our Oxyoke family to yours, we can't wait to see you again soon in the heart of Amana.
The Oxyoke Inn.
From the Harty and Stalker Studios in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
Harty and Stalker Jewelers, making memories, making moments.
We are going to be a little chilly today and tomorrow, but we're going to crank it back up with highs back to the mid-60s by the middle of next week. Today, sunshine, high of only about 49. The wind, northwest at 5 to 15. Clear tonight, 28. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 50. On Sunday, breezy. Sunny, 58. We'll get to 61 Monday, Tuesday, with 65 by Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Right now, it's 39.
KCJJ weather. Brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
We are back.
We are back.
We're back.
So, you know, Ann and I buy season tickets, so we pay to go to these games.
And you're going.
And we're going.
You think there'll be 5,000?
No.
10?
No.
Jesus.
No, I meant 10, not 10,000.
Oh.
Well, yeah, if you want to, I'm guessing there'll be somewhere between 3 and 5.
Yeah, probably.
Friday night, 7 o'clock, night before a football game, high school playoffs. There's a lot going on. I mean, and soccer starts at 6 tonight, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we have a really good feature up on Hawk Fanatic, and it's on your Prep Sports on Solon native Josie Durr. She's in her 7th season playing for Iowa. It's a really neat story that Susan Harmon wrote, if you want to read about it.
That thing.
And, yeah, they play tonight at 6. Men play at 7. And then the
volleyball's at 6.
And who do they play? Is this their last?
Illinois.
Is this their last match?
I'm not sure. I think it's getting close.
It's getting. Oh, I know it's getting close. Yeah, it's been a tough year and a tough conference, man. I feel for them.
Volleyball on BTN Plus.
And volleyball is also Saturday, so no, it's not their last.
Okay, and the men are on what channel?
Peacock.
Peacock.
If only there were a nickname for that.
Well, there isn't.
Channel.
How about Pete Lecoq? Remember him, baseball player?
Yes, I do.
Stepson of Peter Marshall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pete Lecoq.
Yeah. Yes.
You think anyone ever teased him about his last name?
Yes.
No. People tease me about my last name. Farty and Hard-On were probably the two most derogatory ways to spin my name.
You had a rough childhood.
Well, that wasn't my parents. Those were my friends.
I know. You had a rough childhood.
What about your enemies?
Farty, Harty, I got that a lot. And I got older, it turned into the other one, which I don't know if I can.
Here, very seriously, you could have just as easily
turned the other way.
Roger Waters.
Some say that I have.
No, not even close.
What's he doing now?
Blaming the Israelis.
Yeah. So
the guy is with
nuts.
crap. He's nuts, and you can say, yeah, he's anti-Semitic, but he's just anti-everybody. There's something just mentally.
He's just angry. He's constantly angry. Did you see the thing with Alfred and the bats?
I didn't open it. I saw it, and I said, good.
Well, they're having a problem in their arena. Nevada bats keep getting in there and delaying the games. And Alfred, typical Alfred fashion, I get it. I wouldn't with him. It would be frustrating to have to deal with that. But he's like, hey, we're a big-time program. Sorry, Nevada's not a big-time program. I mean, they're not. They just aren't. But that's just his ego. He was so arrogant in how he was talking about. We're a big time program. This shouldn't be happening.
So did he
you
throw
can Google it and find it easy.
Did he throw the facilities people under the bus?
Not really, but Google and find it on your phone and get it on there. We can have the.
Meanwhile, Licklider's going. We'll take some bats.
No, those bats move way too fast for Licklider.
Well, having had enough. We've had a half dozen bats in our house over the years.
I've not had one.
Oh my God, it's weird.
Yeah, because once they're in, you got to do something with them, and if you kill them, isn't that against the law?
I think.
Well, if you call the police to
they're not going to
get
do anything.
them, yes, they will, but they kill them because they have to test them for rabies.
Yeah,
that's fine. Yeah, and if you wake up after sleeping and you didn't know you had a bat, and there's a bat in your house, they recommend that you get a rabies. But aren't rabies shots not near as bad as they used to be?
I'm not sure.
I remember when
they called Alfred Batman.
You remember the old days? Rabies shots were supposedly like 10 inches long. They put them in your gut, and they were excruciating. I don't think it's that bad anymore. You got it?
This is from Fox News. Nevada Steve Alford upset after basketball game. Excuse me, was paused over bat invasion.
But you're going to hear him, and it's going to just bring back memories of what he was like at Iowa. Just
Batman, I love it.
You got it on. You got the video?
I wait for to skip the ad. Here we go.
This food allowance.
It's got a bunch of others.
Got to make money.
Yeah. Well, I don't want.
Sounds like Miami Vice.
Come on. Anyway,
this is great.
God, I'd rather have Menu Boy call in.
Bats fly at Nevada Wolfpack game.
Yeah, we've got that one.
Bats almost stole the show. Nevada won the game 77-63, but bats swarming and diving were featured on national social media outlets Tuesday and again Wednesday. Play was briefly halted Tuesday. As the final seconds ticked off, the bats returned, but the play was not stopped.
So you're going to play the video?
Coach, where is the video?
It's all over Twitter. I mean,
okay, well, let me go to Twitter.
I saw it all over the place.
Because Fox didn't have any audio.
Who was calling him Batman?
I have no.
See, I love that.
Well, he made a joke about. Well, I guess one of the assistant coaches' sons. Alfred's like, well, so and so's son loved it. He's hoping he said he's hoping Superman comes here because they're the Batman stuff. So I think Alfred tried to make a joke, but you remember Alfred? He had no sense of humor.
No sense of humor.
Just no sense of humor at all.
Here he is.
It needs to be fixed. It's uncalled for. We are a big-time basketball program, and we shouldn't be dealing with bats. We shouldn't have a stoppage of play.
Well, I tend to agree with you.
I do too.
That he shouldn't have to deal with.
But they're not a big-time
No.
basketball program.
No.
Son loved it. He thinks Spider-Man's coming.
Yeah,
to the next
Spider-Man.
game. So, but it's just it can't happen.
No, I agree with him.
Yeah,
I agree with him.
It shouldn't
Yeah.
happen.
No, it's kind of dangerous too.
How much would that affect you at Carver, you and Ann, if bats were swooping around?
Well, I wouldn't like it.
Would you?
No, I don't like bats. Are too alien. I don't care for them.
Oh, plus they have rabies.
Yeah.
That's my biggest issue. If they didn't have rabies, it'd be like having a bird in your house. Come on, get out.
You know,
of
when we were on the landing, every summer at a particular time, the bats would just cover the outside of the
Yeah.
front of that building.
Yeah.
See, they give me the creeps. I did kill a bat one time with a tennis racket down in the basement of our house. I was like 15. I swung and missed it like 4 or 5 times, but then on this one, I just got lucky, and that thing went flying up against the wall, and it just slid. It was dead. So did I break the law? Is that a
Yes.
crime?
No.
I thought
I'll just put it on him anyway. He's had such a bad childhood.
I thought killing a bat was against the law.
I don't think so.
I think they're in danger.
I think there is, maybe not. I think there
Well,
is.
not at my house. They're not.
Well, I mean, I don't know what they expect you to do.
Oh, I catch them and
How do you
release
catch
'em. Get a plastic container, one of those.
Oh, and
then slide a piece of cardboard
that's pretty,
underneath.
That's not easy to do.
No, but it works.
But you got to do them. You got to get them out.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, if you open the door and say, "Come on, leave," they don't do that.
Well, that's what we did the last time.
Did it leave that way?
And it did. It flew into our screened-in porch.
So you got a screened-in porch. That's part of your problem.
Yeah.
Bats are protected species in Iowa. That means it's illegal for workers to kill bats in Iowa.
For workers.
Workers.
What does that
What about
mean?
homeowners?
What happens if you kill a bat?
You go to hell.
Are you speaking of Governor Reynolds? No.
That's an old bat.
Unless the bat exposes you to rabies, it's illegal to kill him.
Well, how do you know?
How do you know? Hey, come here. I got to get your blood test. You must turn it in to local authorities, health department, within 1 day if you kill a bat. From May to August, it is illegal to implement exclusions on roosting areas with 15 or more bats.
I mean, they do play a key role in
do.
the ecosystem. I get that.
Is
They
it
do.
illegal to kill bats in the U.S.? It's illegal in most states to willfully kill bats.
So basically,
without an exemption.
we've both broken the law.
You've got to get an exemption from U.S. Fish and Wildlife.
No, I did mine in the 70s. You did yours. When's the last time you killed a bat?
I've never killed one.
Oh, you've never. Okay, you've always get them out. Okay,
Yes.
Okay.
You've never dealt with a bat, except for that old bat that lived above us when we were
Yes.
in Coralville.
I'm guessing your 3-season porch, though, because we had one of those in our house in Beaverdale, and the bats would go in through there, and then they'd go down to the basement. And we didn't have many in our house.
The last one we had was just a couple weeks ago. Came in through our chimney.
Okay, that was the other thing.
And they can make themselves so small.
Oh, I know they can.
It's
My-
unbelievable.
Santa bat.
The house I grew up had 2 chimneys, one, 2 fireplaces, one on the main floor and one downstairs. They'd come in, and my sister has a house that's kind of an older home, and I haven't been there for a while, but they used to have bats all the time. Plus, you'd be able to hear them crawling through the walls.
Yeah.
They had bats everywhere in this house.
Hello.
Yeah, just one more thing to the bat story. I had a friend that was in the exterminator business, and they could set traps, like if they're in the attic, but they can't kill them. You set a device where they're coming in and they can get out, but they can't get back in. To that Iowa law, they said workers can't kill them, and then so the exterminators, you can't just put a trap in there that kills them. You
Yep,
gotta
that's
put a one-way door in your attic. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, no, they are protected, and I think it's because of what they do for the ecosystem.
So you can kill dogs and cats, but you can't kill a bat.
Yeah.
Well, you kill birds too, can't you?
Well, you're not supposed to kill dogs.
We're not supposed to kill anything, but they're. I mean, if a dog is attacking you, you probably have a right to defend yourself.
Probably.
Same thing with a person.
What about a bat? Just free reign, man.
Yeah.
You can let her rip, bats. You guys win.
They got a great offense.
He's got foam coming out of its mouth with the rabies, and say, "Hey, you can't do anything about me. I'm here."
Maybe we need that at the game tomorrow. on the offense.
A bat?
Just release a bunch of bats.
I'm not sure what my dogs would have done if a bat got when they would have freaked out if there was this furry thing flying. Lakota would have went nuts.
Oh, the cats go crazy.
And they wouldn't have been able to. You're not going to be able to catch a Lakota's not going to be able to jump up in the air and catch a bat with its mouth. But they would have went nuts.
Hello.
Hopefully that's never happened. But yeah, you've got you've got an open screen 3-season porch and a chimney.
Hey.
Good morning.
Morning.
I got to tell you my favorite bat story.
Okay.
I was at work a couple of years ago, and at the end of the hallway, there was a little room, kind of dark, but there's a window open about 6 feet up in the air or so, about 8 feet. So I stood on a chair, and I shut the window, and then I jumped off the chair, and all of a sudden, I heard the noise of jumping on 6 Nestle Crunch bars stacked one on top of the other. And I was like, what the heck? And I turned the light on, and I jumped down on a bat laying on the floor. And just crunched it. And of course, yeah.
Did you get arrested?
Hey, we're going to report you.
What's your address?
Yeah, I think authorities need to come out there.
No, I did the right thing. I had to gather it up and take it to the hygienic lab. Fortunately, it tested negative, but oh my God, what a surprise that was.
Oh, yeah,
my God.
That kind of gives me the creeps.
Yeah, that's weird.
Hey, I missed it earlier, but were you guys did a summation of the ladies' game last night?
Yes, we did.
Yep. Anna Stolke. My gosh, what a turnaround she's made.
Yeah, she's going to be a great one.
Yeah, and she's going to have opportunities, too. She did get into foul trouble, but that's going to be when you're 6'2" center. I wish she could play power forward. They need Sharon Goodman and Addison O'Grady to play well this year.
They do.
They do. And Goodman was okay at times last night. I thought she had a couple ticky-tack fouls called on her setting screens.
I agree.
Felt bad for her there. But those two, to me, are huge for this season.
The only thing I thought was missing is if Hannah develops a game with her back to the basket, oh my gosh, she's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
That's the next step. That and being able to consistently shoot a 12-foot jumper and also make free throws.
Right. And now the addition of Kylie Burbach as another spark plug.
Kylie looked – I thought she was terrific last night.
Yeah, no, if she can stay healthy, she's going to be a factor because she can guard multiple positions. She's pretty athletic. She was a pretty big-time recruit when she went to Iowa State. And she showed some potential her freshman year there. She just got hurt.
Yeah.
And could you guys remind me, I kept commenting to my wife during the entire game, but it seemed like the 6'6" young lady from Tech was just sort of disappeared the whole night, even though she had some stats at the end of the game. But can you kind of comment on
I thought she missed a lot of shots in the elbow, just open 8, 12-footers that just bounced off the back of the rim. Remember, she also got hurt.
She got blasted.
She got
in
blasted,
the face.
But she did come back and play well in the fourth quarter. I just didn't think, other than the little guard, anyone for Virginia Tech played very well on offense.
I thought Amore was more
good,
impressive.
But they missed so many perimeter jumps. And I thought they rushed and took some bad threes, too.
So she's the one that got bumped in the nose early in the
game.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was.
But she did come back and score 10 points in the fourth quarter.
Yes, she did.
Right. But at the onset, if you remember, she made a couple of really sweet turnaround jumpers.
No, she's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, it was like, what happened? You didn't hear much from her the rest of the game, but I didn't realize that was her that got bumped in the nose. That must have been a really bad injury because I saw her go into the locker room.
But yeah, I mean, she's better than what she showed last night, and maybe Iowa gets some credit for that.
They must, yeah.
That guard is unbelievable, pure shooter. I haven't seen a shooter like that for a long time, and she just drains everything.
How about that half-court shot at halftime?
Oh my gosh,
I missed that.
Unbelievable.
God. Literally half-court.
You know you're dialed in when you do something like that.
Yeah.
And she split the net. I mean, it wasn't like she banked it.
It was a perfect shot.
Imagine her and Caitlin playing in the same backcourt. Who do you guard?
Yeah. Well, and Caitlin would get it to her, too, right where she wanted
And she'd get it to Caitlin.
Yep.
Both of them could be ball handlers.
What was that shooter from men's basketball from Purdue like 30 years ago?
Rick Mount. No, more like 50 years ago. No, more like 50 years ago.
It was 60 years
60 years ago. God. Now I'm depressed.
Was that back when they're using peach baskets? I'm good.
Hell, I moved to Iowa City 30 years ago.
Hey, you guys have a good week.
All right, you too.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, Rick Mount was like 68 to 70, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So that's 50. That's 55 years ago.
These headlines are great. College hoops coach unleashes fury after bats stop play.
I don't know if it was
Nevada basketball coach Steve Alford hates arena bats. It's uncalled for. We're a big-time program. Steve Alford is sick and tired of bats. How many times does this happen? I mean, it happened twice this week, but does it happen all the time?
What if the next game they just start attacking him on the bench?
You think he'd like being called Batman?
No. But like I said, the only thing I get why he has to say that he's promoted, but the way he says it, like, hey, we're a big. I mean, no, Nevada is not a big time program. They've had some good teams. They're Division I. I'll get all that, but they're not as big as Iowa. They're not They're. I mean, Steve has gone sort of since Iowa. To me, New Mexico to Nevada, that's a lateral move, isn't it?
Yeah, but he got the
UCLA job, but he didn't succeed.
No, he didn't.
He had a run there where he was okay with other guys' players, but when it came down to recruiting his players, he didn't succeed.
This appears to be the level that he's.
Yes, I would agree with that. And my guess is that probably eats at him, knowing that people say that about him too.
Alford has had it with bats, and bats aren't too crazy about him.
That's one of the headlines?
Yeah.
All right.
Steve Batman Alford. I love it.
Do you remember the Batts brothers? They played at Lloyd Batts and Boyd Batts.
I don't.
You don't remember? I think I got to look them up. They may have played for some Missouri Valley school. Lloyd and Boyd Batts were their names.
Do not.
I think that was from the 70s. You remember Herkel Ivey from Iowa State?
Absolutely.
I love that name. Wouldn't he drop 25 to like 30 every night? He was a scoring machine. Yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
His teams weren't very good.
The one I remember from Iowa State that will piss me off for the rest
I know
of
what
my
you're
life,
going to say.
Lefester Rhodes.
Lefester Rhodes, 54, was it, against a really good, that was the 87-88 team. That was B.J. Roy.
That was just
there were times when
ridiculous.
those teams with B.J. Roy and Ed and Dr. Tom where I just thought they could have played better on defense. Did you ever get that?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, Lefester Rhodes was he shredded them, and he made a lot of tough shots, don't get me wrong, but he was also wide open on a lot of those shots. Well, Iowa played at such a fast pace. There were times where I thought they got exploited by the other team's fast breaking because there were times when Iowa wasn't very athletic under Dr. Tom.
Well,
I mean,
true.
Roy beat you, that not then, and they still played that fast paced style. It worked a lot, but sometimes it didn't work.
Yeah.
And there's times I think with Fran likes to play at a fast pace. You're going to get more shots. Other teams can take advantage of that.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
we've seen that happen, like in the NCAA tournament, the game against Oregon.
Game pissed me off.
Other games where teams would say, okay, you want to run with us? Let's go. And Iowa sometimes doesn't have the athleticism to offset that. And so we'll see. Like I said, you said Alabama State played. I'm going to go home and write something short and get something up on the website from the notes.
They were within 10.
They were within 10 of a Division I team.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see. I'd be surprised if this game is close, though.
I would, too. Well, the line is something like 27 or 28. So
is it really?
Yeah.
And then the line for football is 1. That's
is 1.
That line for football is pretty telling because those people aren't stupid.
No, it's going to be a nail biter. You know it is.
And this is a big game for both programs. Don't get me wrong. This is a huge game for Rutgers.
It is
because they get that 7th win. I'm going to see who they have left. Let's see.
Well, it ain't any. They got some tough games at Penn State.
They're at Penn State, and then at home
Maryland.
At home against Maryland, which my guess is they're going to win. They win this game, they could win 8 games this year. I mean, that would be significant for them, and that would be hugely significant in this rebuilding process.
Well, let's have them lose to Iowa and then go out and beat Penn State the next week. How would that be?
What do you think? Who do you have? Michigan, Penn State.
It's at Penn State, right? I would say Michigan.
I ended up picking Michigan, and my comment was, "Smile, you're on candid camera." I said, "Nittany Lions, smile, you're on candid camera." But I mean, I just wish they'd get some resolution on that. Just make a decision on what you're going to do. It's amazing, and I wrote a column on the Noah Shannon thing. The punishment, that's a separate issue. You can argue whether you think it's too harsh. It is what it is. They've softened it because it used to be permanent ban. Now it's a 1-year ban. I'm not going to really dispute that. My issue is the fact they let him back to practice and had him practice for a month, probably knowing that he was never going to play.
Then
Why?
shut the door. There's
Why?
no reason for it.
That put him at risk physically.
No reason for it.
There was no reason why and I think it created a false sense of hope. Oh, wow, this is just the next step. Because there were people in the Iowa media that were convinced he was going to be allowed to play a couple of weeks ago. They were asking Iowa players at the Tuesday press conference about, hey, it's just going to be a matter of hours. It could happen any time now. Noah's going to be cleared. What are your thoughts? And it never happened.
Didn't happen.
And I just think the fact they let him practice, kind of let him on, that's my biggest issue, the process more than the punishment. And that's what I wrote yesterday, because it just doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, rules are rules. I mean, he admitted to betting, and Kirk said, I mean, obviously he bet on the Iowa women. I mean, that's in what sounds like one time.
It's a pretty good bet.
And it's just unfortunate that it cost him his whole – I just don't get the timing, how this took so long, and I keep having people asking me, why just Iowa? Why just Iowa? I've said my theory, what I've been told by good sources. It was unique to this state because of some people that work here were ambitious, saw an opportunity to seize on this, maybe to help their cause, and almost like a sting type thing is what I've been told by a very, very good sources.
Well,
but I'm not going to write it.
Well, I've got good sources. And I verified it with someone else who had different sources, that Bretta Bird set this up. She went to the two most Republican counties, got these people. They wanted to climb up the ladder. And
it's two people.
Specifically, yeah, one from each county. And they wanted to climb up the ladder, and this was very seriously, and what I was told by an attorney who would know about it, because there's going to be some legal coming down from this, is that they wanted to, basically, they want to own the libs. She set it up, Bretta Bird, and that's why. And they targeted Iowa State.
I don't get owning the libs. Some of these players, I'm guessing some of these players that
but
are
the universities.
Yes.
The universities.
Yeah, see, I hadn't heard that, but I just heard from a very good source who's very hands-on, who said it was a sting, and it was due to 2 or 3 really ambitious law enforcement people that saw a chance to make a name for themselves.
Well, that's not... That works with...
Yeah, I just didn't... None of my people didn't tell, but they probably don't care about... They didn't mention any of the politics stuff. Is what, and I was told this a long time ago, is what had happened. And these people would know because they were part of it. They were involved with it. But, but I'm guessing...
Because he's going to...
But I'm guessing some of those Iowa football players that lost... I'm guessing some of them probably came from conservative families.
Oh, yeah. It had nothing to do with the players per se. It had everything to do with the two institutions.
Yes. But that's... The best I can give, though, is it was a type of sting thing, and other states. But that still doesn't answer the question. Other states saying, wow, you see what happened in Iowa? We better check on this. Why hasn't anyone done that? Who cares how it started here?
Don't know.
That's the story.
It's never made sense to me.
The story, to me, it's not what we just talked about. The story is why no other states piggybacked off this and said, hey, we got to check to see if we have this problem.
Well, why isn't the NCAA looking into other states now?
Well, that's what I'm saying, too. But if it's political, why didn't they look at Northern Iowa? Why didn't they look at Drake?
Don't know.
I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
No, I don't. The whole thing hasn't made sense.
No, and the way the NCAA has handled it.
Well, that makes sense because they don't handle anything well.
Yeah, well.
They're pointless.
Well, and the reason they're softening their stand is because they look like hypocrites. And I'm not criticizing them. I mean, one of our biggest sponsors are Casino Wild Rose. You guys advertise with them.
Yeah.
But it looks pretty hypocritical if you're taking all these tough stands on everything, and yet more and more universities are partnering with gambling entities to make money.
Yeah.
I mean, don't some of the UI athletes sometimes have to go down to Riverside and represent?
Yes. And they are.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. So the hypocrisy is. I mean, I think the NCAA finally realized we got to soften this a little bit because times are changing. So they did. To go from permanent ban to a 1-year ban and loss of eligibility, that's a pretty significant step back. Unfortunately, it didn't work for Noah Shannon because it's his last year.
Yep.
And like I said, had they not allowed him to return to practice, I'd be saying, yeah, this is a tough penalty, but he took a chance and paid a heavy price. But the fact that they let him back to practice, I still don't get it. I don't understand why they would do that.
Hello.
So here's my view on this real quick. The reason UNI hasn't been attacked is because that's Grassley's school. If this is a Republican hit job, which is what it looks like, then if you read anything from Grassley's Twitter, he's all about Northern Iowa. So I don't know how Drake falls out of this, but Northern Iowa, that's Grassley's team.
Could be.
Yeah. I don't know, but like I said,
Twitter account because he blows them up all the time.
Kirk Ferentz got hurt very bad by this, and I think it's no secret that Kirk's pretty conservative, isn't he?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a lot of conservatives that also got hurt by this.
Yeah, it's not individuals as much as it is the institutions.
But you don't think there's a strong liberal sense at Northern Iowa's campus? Every college has.
Well,
tends to be.
Yeah,
but I'm not disagreeing with what you say, caller. I just don't know if it's as cut and dry. I don't know. I'm a little reluctant to believe that it's all just based on politics, but maybe I'm wrong. I mean, who knows?
Hey, one more thing, too. Tomorrow on the Big Ten Plus, you can actually watch the field hockey for free. There's a link on the field hockey Twitter page that'll take you to the free showing. So, while you're tailgating or watching the game, you can watch the Hawks play in the NCAA tournament tomorrow for free.
Cool.
Okay,
That's
great.
very
Thanks,
cool.
thanks for the heads up.
All right. Hey, go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
And now, what about soccer tonight? What's the television?
It's on BTN Plus.
Okay, I'm wondering what the Big Ten Network has on tonight.
I don't know.
I love it when
they finally got rid of that kiln.
That was a while. Thing. That was a while ago, but I remember. Hell, the Penn State former president who lost his job through this used to have his own show on the Big Ten. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about the first year the Big Ten was on, had one sponsor that I remember. Do you remember who it was?
Yeah, or the salsa thing.
Yeah.
Rotel. Rotel, yeah. It was not bad. I've had it before.
Oh, no. Ann uses it in her chili.
It's good in chili. It's good on burritos. You can even put it on tacos. It's not bad. So, yeah, Rotel, I do remember that.
I'll bet that would be good on tacos.
Yeah, no, because I like a lot. I like pico de gallo and stuff like that on tacos. The more the merrier. So, but there's a lot going on this weekend, and like I said, I'm really looking forward to this game tomorrow because I'm curious to see how good this Rutgers team is. With Iowa, I think we know what we're going to get. I think the defense is going to play well. I think Torrey Taylor's going to punt well, especially after coming off a subpar for him.
Yep.
I think Drew Stevens will do his job. It's going to be interesting to see how Rutgers handles all the elements because this is the next step for Rutgers. I mean, like I said, let's see. Their most impressive win.
Well, if Iowa can't run, we're going to be in big trouble.
And they're more than likely not going to be able to run.
Then it's going to be a nail biter.
Let's see what exactly. Rutgers has 38 tackles for loss, 18 sacks. I'm going to see what opponents are averaging. Let's see. Rushing.
I thought they were somewhat susceptible to the run.
Opponents rushing. Rutgers has ran for 1662. Opponents have ran for 1100. No, they're only giving up 122. Opponents are averaging 3.7 yards a carry against Rutgers. Rutgers is actually giving up fewer rushing yards than Iowa per game.
Wow.
I think they're at 122. The last time I checked, Iowa was at let me see where Iowa is. So you guys can.
So if it's 120, they give up 122 per game. If Iowa gets 122, statistically, Iowa always wins the game. Almost always wins the game.
Almost
always.
Yeah, I mean, I that happens so infrequently though in big games. Actually, the stat that I've seen it used is 150. If Iowa runs for 150, their winning percentage is just unbelievable. But I think they're going to need more than 120 yards rushing tomorrow to win the game. That's just, against this team, especially if Rutgers runs for over 150. Okay, let's see. Iowa is they're both almost the same. Iowa's averaging 114 rushing, giving up 121. So Iowa's rush defense is almost identical to Rutgers' run. They're almost identical there. And let's see, tackles for loss. Iowa has more. Iowa has 53 of those. The big difference is, sacks are almost identical. These defensive stat-wise are almost identical.
Yeah, that's going to be it ain't going to be a shootout.
No, the big difference is on offense.
Yeah.
I mean, Rutgers, and the other thing is Gavin Wimsatt is a dual-threat quarterback in the sense that he doesn't really play the game necessarily like a dual threat all the time, but when the play breaks down, he runs. He's got over 400 yards rushing. I mean, he's got That, to me, is going to be one of the biggest problems in the game is what he does on broken plays on third down. To me, if he's really good at that, they're going to win the game. But Phil Parker's really good at controlling that with having a defender shadow. Iowa's really good usually at taking care of that. But this guy can really move when the play breaks down, and Iowa does not have that luxury. They just don't.
No, they don't.
And that would, if I was listing my 3 biggest concerns coming into this game, it would be, number 1 would be Gavin Wimsatt on broken plays. That would be my number 1 thing that I think is a concern for Iowa. And then after that, it would be the running games. If Iowa finishes with 100 fewer yards rushing than Rutgers, which could easily happen based on the stats,
probably won't win.
Yeah, so we'll see. I think Iowa's got to get at least its average to have a chance to win this game. And Rutgers is good, but they're not Ohio State or Michigan on defense. And I don't think they're quite Iowa on defense, even though the stats say they are pretty similar. I still think Iowa's got a better overall defense, but we shall see. It's going to be interesting to see how aggressive Brian Ferentz comes out to be. I mean, if I'm Brian Ferentz, I'm like, what the hell? Devil may care.
That's the whole thing.
Why not just say, okay, I'll be your lame duck coach. I'll have fun with this. Let's do a triple reverse flea flicker on the first play.
I mean, seriously,
Devil may care. Just throw caution to the wind and they throw 70 times tomorrow.
Well, if they do, they ain't going to win.
No. No, it is so hard for Iowa to complete a pass to a wide receiver. I think the Iowa tight ends need to play a big game tomorrow too.
I hope
so. I think the tight ends need to step up and maybe combine for 4 to 6 catches tomorrow because I could see them open on a lot of easier underneath routes. Rutgers secondary is really good.
Yeah, they are.
They're 5th in the nation, I believe, in pass defense, average giving up only 155 a game. They've got that Max Milton who's really good. They got here I'll read some. Robert Longerbeam. Owns 25 career pass breakups and 3 interceptions. Ranks 3rd in the Big Ten with 1.1 passes defended per game. Had 7 tackles and a pass breakup against Ohio State. Max Milton owns 21 career pass breakups, 6 interceptions, and 4 blocked kicks. Broke up 2 passes at Indiana, 4th career game with multiple breakups. Okay, then their other 2 starters are Shaquan Loyal, that's a cool name, Shaquan Loyal, and then Flip Dixon. How about Flip Dixon? He's their other starting safety. These are all 4. But then the other thing that's incredible is Desmond Igbenosum isn't listed as a starter, and yet he's got, let's say, he's recovered a fumble against Michigan State and posted 4 tackles for loss, most by any Scarlet Knight since some guy's name won't like. He doesn't start, and he's a defensive back, and he leads them in tackles for loss. I mean, their secondary is very active, very good. I could have easily given them the edge over Iowa. But Iowa with a 5-man secondary, Iowa's secondary, Castro's playing All-American football. You could argue that Castro's been better than DeJean.
You could.
As a defensive back. I mean, DeJean impacts the game in so many different ways, but Castro leads the team in interceptions. I mean, his stats are incredible, and he was a second-team midseason All-American. I think Castro and DeJean are both playing All-American level football in the secondary.
I think Cooper's going to try to throw a pass for a touchdown tomorrow. I think that'll be one. Put him in motion, give him the ball, and throw the ball.
I could see that happening, but I also could see him tucking it and running, too, because my guess is the receivers aren't going to be open.
Maybe if the receiver's open, he'll
throw. Yeah, but I could see him more likely tucking it and running. But either way, I think the fact they used him twice and they gained 13 yards on the 2 play he was in, he ran for 8. I think they're going to try him again. That's the other thing. Brian Ferentz just needs. They've only got this kid for another month or so. You may well.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he's coming. I don't think he will be coming back next year. If he does, great. But I
would love to have him.
Common sense tells me if he's a first, second round pick, you got to go in this sport. You just can't delay it. If you've got the opportunity, because it's such a physical sport, as you saw last night in the Virginia-Louisville game. Virginia running back got hit, and he was down and out. But they did say later on he had movement in his extremities. But man, it was scary on the field.
Did Louisville end up winning?
Louisville ended up winning. Yeah, Virginia's 2-8. They've had a rough. Think about it. They've had how many of those 3 players killed? Remember?
Yeah, that's right.
They had 3 players killed on campus. Yeah. They're 2-8 this year. And, I mean, I'm sure they didn't probably like losing Nick Jackson. That was a huge loss. But you can also see why Nick left.
Yeah.
I mean, a better opportunity.
And, boy, what a difference he's made for us.
Oh, he's been huge. Yeah, he and Jay are maybe the best linebacker combo in college football. They lead Power 5 with 185 tackles combined. That leads.
And that's pretty amazing considering the 2 linebackers we lost.
Yeah.
to have them come back and put up pretty similar
Well, Jay's averaging more tackles than
Jack
did.
Isn't that something?
So, he's having quite the year. And it'll be interesting to see because I believe with COVID, he's got like 8 more years of eligibility, doesn't he? I think he does have 1 more year.
He does have one more.
Yeah, he does have one
Yes,
more
he
year
does.
if he wants. I know that. Nick is done.
Yes.
Nick will be
for
done.
sure.
Yeah, I mean, but Jay, my guess is I could see Jay coming back because unlike Jack, I don't know if Jay projects as a high first-round pick. He might, but I haven't heard that he does as high as Jack did. He's not as big, but I also see the way Jay Higgins plays. I could see him playing in the NFL the way he plays linebacker.
Yeah,
he's really good. He's a sure tackler. Rarely have you seen running backs break his grip. When he's in open field, he makes a good firm tackle. And he rarely misses tackles. That's what's been so impressive. And he's so consistent.
Hello.
Hey, guys. Let's open the playbook up tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll do that.
Has it been closed?
Well, Captain, when are you talking to Brian next?
Well, he's supposed to come to lunch with us.
Okay, so just remember to mention that. You always forget to mention that when you're eating with him.
I know. Well,
open up the playbook.
Yeah.
He
thinks our morning show is more offensive
than his offense. He might be right. He might be right. Well, that's one good thing. We know the coaches aren't listening when we're on in the morning because they're practicing.
Yes.
They go.
They might have a headset on.
Yeah, they think Kirk's like listening to the other assistants, and he's listening to Menu Boy.
Hey, Kirk, they want Cooper to throw a touchdown pass.
Hey, wait! I'm waiting to see what they're eating at Regina.
I want to know what the song is.
Yeah, Are you excited for it? It's Friday. That's one of the things that gets you going on Friday, isn't it?
Oh, it gets me going out of here. Yeah.
You're a big fan of the song of the week, aren't you?
Oh, sure.
What do you think it'll be this week?
Something lame that Norm Wilson requested.
Norm Wilson.
Yeah, that's the only request.
He requests almost all of the songs of the week.
Yeah.
Oh, so there's a guy I don't know.
I think he's in L.A. or something. He's in the chat room. He's always listening.
Big fan of Southern
Justin?
Justin?
Up with, he was in there last night with Molly.
What if he did L.A. Woman by the Doors?
Huh?
Would you be mad at that?
Yes.
It's a long song.
Yes.
It's a great song, but it's long.
It's a great song.
Great
Just
song.
different format.
Just got into town a little while ago.
Yeah. What if he requested the end?
Well, you'd like that if you were working here because you could go to the bathroom.
No,
and
I banned that on KFMH.
That's a mean song.
It's
where
a
he
ridiculously
kills his
long,
parents,
awful song.
and he kills his parents. Well, Apocalypse Now brought it back.
Yeah, well, it should never have been recorded. That's my opinion.
Yeah, for some reason, he didn't like his family. I don't know why. I mean, he did not like his family. No, he didn't. But you know what I'm seeing on my Twitter feed now? I cannot understand Twitter. All of a sudden, old videos of bands that I was never a fan of, they're showing them back when they were just like there. It was a neat video of Green Day when it wasn't called Green Day, and they were playing. They were seniors in high school. They were playing in the Battle of the Bands on their high school courtyard. And they didn't win. They lost. And it was 1990, like 2 years before they exploded. Then there was another one from 1991 that was it System of the... No, what was it? It was... who's Rage? What are the Rage Against the Machine? It was them in high school playing from like that. All of a sudden, those are popping up all over on my Twitter feed. I don't know why.
Twitter's so effed up on my thing. I got Marjorie Taylor Greene though. Yesterday,
why block her?
Yesterday, on the floor, calling Bober
a whore. I enjoyed that.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't follow any of that. I don't know.
But yeah, her stuff, I block her so it doesn't show. I block Lauren Bober too, so none of that nonsense shows up on my site. But I would like to see them battle it out on the floor, wouldn't you?
I think it'll be coming.
A cat fight.
Wouldn't you watch that?
No.
I think Marjorie Taylor Greene would kill her. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene could maybe start as a fullback for a lot of football teams. I mean, she's a big. You see her lifting weights, and it's just a freak show.
Yeah,
that it is.
Well, Twitter's just a freak show, but they got a picture. They got the picture. It's a meme, and they've got Alford. You know how he used to point with his arms straight out, pointing to the bat signal. It's great.
That is pretty funny. And hopefully he can get a laugh out of it, but my guess he's probably not.
No.
Because he just never seemed to find anything funny.
Steve Batman Alford. Love it.
That would be annoying, though. I mean, but I have to wonder, too, though. I have to wonder, too, why it doesn't happen more. Bats can get in so many places. A big open arena at night with lights and whatever.
They've got patterns, though. They fly in patterns across the United States. They go to certain places, so that's must
well, like
be
Austin,
in their
Texas
pattern.
is the bat. Austin, Texas is the bat capital of the United States.
Yeah.
They have all those caves right outside of Austin. There's so many bats in Austin, Texas. You can see them at night. It's just incredible.
Yeah, well, and that's what they do. They don't go. They're not like covering the United States.
No, I don't believe Hawaii even has bats. I could be wrong.
But they do. They do move in patterns.
But they just
They could screw them up. But all they have to
bats
do
just kind of give me the yibs.
Yeah,
they could get some
bats
little,
and snakes.
Snakes even more than bats.
Some little transmitter, and because they follow a sound thing, and just jam them.
But they do play a vital role.
But I don't think that they're allowed to by law.
Don't they eat a ton of insects?
They sure do.
Yeah.
Tons.
Them and possums.
To where if they weren't around, we'd have major problems.
Yes.
Yeah, if they just didn't get rabies, that's their. They just get.
You eat a bunch of stuff that you're not supposed to.
Same with raccoons.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of dead possums on the street. They're not real good at crossing the street.
I don't understand after evolution and after
how the animals haven't figured it out.
Yeah.
I think the deer are to the point now where, we're going to do as much damage to your car as you're going to do it to that. I might even survive, so screw you.
I almost hit a deer the other day. We were coming back, my sister and brother-in-law and Ann and I coming back from the casino, and we were heading towards Sand Road from the casino, and a deer came right across. I happened to see it out of the corner of my eye and swerved real quick to the right.
They just don't.
I got lucky.
Yeah, they just don't get it.
There was one coming to work, I think it was Wednesday, and just standing there. I mean, just standing at the edge of the road, and so I stopped, and I'm like signaling the deer.
I couldn't get one to leave my front yard the other day. He just wouldn't leave. I pounded on the window. Then I finally went out to the porch. I'm like, go, because he wanted to mess around with my tree. And I'm like, go. And I even charged at it a little bit. And it didn't phase him, didn't flinch. And then it had horns, too. This was not this. I'm like, okay, hang out as long as you want. Eventually it moved on, but they're not afraid of us anymore.
No.
Remember my Ford Probe?
Uh-huh.
And how the...
that was not good.
But you remember the old days, they would see a human and just sprint away.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
No, they don't do that
They
anymore.
didn't do it, the Probe. They started humping the Probe.
Well, that's probably because you were driving a Probe.
Well,
What did you have before that, a Vega?
I did have a Vega.
My parents, we had a Vega as a second, a blue Vega.
It was a blue Astra.
Did you ever have a Pacer, the one that was all glass?
No.
My brother Steve did, and I thought those were cool as hell.
But weren't they almost all glass?
Yes.
It was like driving
a space capsule.
Or a kitchen utility.
I thought they were way cool.
We will beg to differ.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Hey, we can differ on music. We can differ on cars. You going to play some good music after today's show?
No, I'm going to wait till you get out.
Taylor Swift.
And I'm going to play Carly Rae Jepsen.
And what's her name? Wendy Perry.
Sir, I know when I do that secretly, you don't want anybody to know, but
I'm turning it up and singing it
up. Yeah.
The Carly Rae, that's the one, the Call Me Later or whatever.
Call Me Maybe.
Call Me Baby. She's not insisting that you call. She's suggesting that you call. So she's not overwhelming.
No. Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, I don't hate
not
that.
Call Me Damn It.
No, it's a good song. I like that song.
I don't hate it. It's just kind of silly.
I've been told that we're wrecking your musical taste.
No, you're not. I will go home.
You said something.
There's times I go home and cleanse myself.
They go, oh, now Harty's he did.
I've liked some bad songs before. I'm not above liking a bad song. And I go home though sometimes and cleanse myself from this place. I'll just crank like L.A. Woman at the top for 45 minutes.
Just crank that
or
new
Pink Floyd Metal.
Why don't you crank that new Roger Waters?
No, that's horrible. I'd rather listen to Taylor Swift than that. Seriously, I would. If I had to listen to one, I'm not going to listen to anything Roger Waters does on his own anymore. I'm finished with him. I'm with him with Trump. I just go away. I wish he'd go away just like Trump.
Yep.
And same with Biden, but in a respectful way. I want Biden to go away too. I mean, I just
want some younger leadership.
Well,
more than anything else.
Manchin won't be the
that ain't helping though, man. This is going down a bad path.
He's the governor of one of the poorest states,
and he drives a Maserati and lives on a yacht.
Yeah, yeah.
But both sides accuse the other. Any politician now, they come in worth about a couple $100,000. 10 years later, they're worth $15, $20 million. That's Democrats and
yes.
A politician is now just a way to become rich.
Well, and they go on these speaking tours. They make a fortune.
Yeah,
it's not just books. It's the speaking tours, and they make a fortune.
And the people, for some reason, are willing to pay large sums of money to hear politicians speak. God, I wouldn't cross the street to hear almost any politician speak. I don't care.
Yeah. Nope.
I mean, I just don't care like the people. Oh, Pat, you got to get on and listen to Joe Rogan, man. No, I don't. I couldn't care less what he says about anything. I've had people tell me that, you need to have Joe Rogan part of your listening.
You don't need to listen.
Why do we need to listen to people to know how to think? Think for yourself.
I have never told anybody I'll get on and, pontificate or anything.
Yeah.
Well, I got 5 hours, 6 hours to fill.
Yeah.
But I mean, you don't have to listen to me.
Now, if I listen to Trump,
though.
It's more out of entertainment just because of how the bizarre things he says and the fact that he is getting old and kind of
something isn't right because
But he still makes me laugh at times. And usually, though, it's him being really mean about something. But there are times when he comes off as funny. You've said that.
Yeah,
but now it's getting to be I'm almost laughing at him.
When I hear his voice, whatever I turn it off. I cannot listen to his voice for a second.
I watched a couple things
He's a liar.
on social media. Yes, he is. But he's not even lying about the right stuff anymore. He's still insisting he beat Obama. And I mean, these are three rallies where he's beat Obama. He yesterday or the day before, he said he spoke tens of thousands of people. In the arena, holds at most 5,000.
He also said Kim Jong-il's very intelligent because he's basically a tyrant over 1.4 billion people.
Yeah.
There's nowhere close to that many people in North Korea. But the thing is, though, guys, his worshipers don't care.
No.
They just don't care. They are in it for vindication, and that's it. That's
they don't
They're
care
gonna,
if he lies.
They're going to ride it to the end.
Not
They
at all.
just don't care. And, that's their business. I hope he, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I hope he doesn't win. I want him to just go away. I mean, if Nikki Haley became the president, I would be fine.
Yeah, I wouldn't have.
I wouldn't agree with everything she does.
No, but I don't agree with anything anybody does.
No, I don't either.
But I mean, at least Nikki Haley.
I could live with Chris Christie being the president.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, it would be different. But no, I wouldn't care. Like when Bush was the president, he made some bad decisions, but I didn't think about it.
Well, Chris Christie's mobbed up. I mean, he's just mobbed up.
Do you think he's ever been called Chris Crispy, like Krispy Kreme donuts?
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's funny, though, that the Trump worshipers attack him for his weight. Yes, he's obese, but the person they worship is also overweight, but it doesn't seem – nothing ever seems to stick to him. There was a lady on Twitter yesterday, some news organization. She was at a Trump rally. He asked her if he doesn't win. She's like, if he doesn't win, I just want to die. And the guy's like –
okay.
You could Google that. You find that on Twitter. You can find it on Twitter. Then she went through it for 2 minutes explaining how miserable life is right now simply because Donald Trump is not the president. She says if he doesn't win, sounds like she said she's going to kill herself.
I hope she does.
And it was frightening. This media.
Yes, I do.
Well, it's ridiculous.
This media guy was like, seriously? And she was being serious. She was nasty, too. I mean, she was just an angry. And I'm just like, but there's people like that in this country, guys. And I don't get it. I'm kind of in between you. I'm not wishing death on her like you are, but if she killed herself over a stupid politician, that's her fault. That's how I am.
Completely her fault.
Yes, and you should be able to find her because it was making the way on Twitter yesterday. She was wearing all her clothes were the American flag, and everything was Trump. It was just, but there's a lot of people like that, and I didn't think there were that many in this country, but there are.
There are. It's not coming up right now.
And you got to give, if credit's the right word, he has done an amazing job is indoctrinating the right word, a large part of this country. They basically just trust him. Oh, and she also said she doesn't trust anybody but Trump. She's the only one that tells the truth.
See, and that is just so stupid.
Oh, I
that
agree.
I can't even deal with it.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how you.
It's not coming up.
I'll see if I can find it. What did you guys have for dinner last night?
That's a good question.
I had Krakens.
We had leftovers.
Had a tenderloin, split fries with ham.
We had
just a regular order of fries.
Yeah, we split out.
But
order of fries.
their tenderloins are big. They're filling.
Yes.
Yeah, no, they're filling. I could see you splitting an order of fries because that sandwich fills you up.
It does.
We had leftover crazy chicken
from
Senior Camp.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I've had that before. Crazy chicken's good.
Oh, that's yum.
Yeah, had that and
Yum-alicious.
leftover flatbread pizza from Shakespeare's. Only the dog had more of that than I ate.
Shakespeare's flatbread is good.
Yeah, it is, but I don't like pizza warmed up, and I don't like pizza cold.
I don't mind it cold, but I only like it warmed up if it's in an oven. I can't. The microwave warm up.
Well,
is
we
gross.
do. Yeah, we do it. In the
Eat
oven,
it
but
cold.
it's still not.
I don't mind it cold.
If I have some leftover, I eat it cold happily.
I used to like cold chicken too, like when my parents.
I like cold chicken. Oh, you bet.
Yeah, I found it right away. I don't think there's cussing. You want me to play it?
Yeah.
Oh wait, now she's.
Than anywhere else around the world.
When's the last time you paid for a loaf of bread?
I just went to the store the other day, and I was glad to see that inflation is down.
Oh, no. We can't talk anymore.
What? Unemployment is down. My 401k is doing great.
Mine
isn't.
401k is doing great.
Mine isn't either.
Markets are awesome.
No. I can't even, see, that's why I can't talk to a liberal.
Well, if we can't talk to each other, what are we going to do? Opportunities than anywhere else around the world.
When's the last time you paid for a loaf of bread?
See, this is the short
thing.
version. This is the shorter version. There's a longer version where, yeah, if Trump loses in 24, I hope I die. That's what she said earlier in the interview. And you know, if that's how you are, if you're that involved in politics, and that's just stupid.
Goodbye.
Yeah, you know.
Adios, MFer.
Well,
it's going to be an interesting year, isn't it? It's going to be an exhausting year.
Yeah, I'm already exhausted.
If Trump wins and I'm still here, there'll be a lot less news in the morning. There will, because
I just wonder if he does win, though, how much vengeance and stuff he's going to be able to get away.
Since we got off YouTube,
I mean, there are limits to a president's power in this country,
yes.
unless you surround
unless
you surround yourself with people who will let you do whatever you want. That's the worry. That's what he's trying to do. That's what he wants to do.
Well, he wants to take over the Justice Department.
I mean, because there's a lot of people that think like James Clapper, all those people should be in jail, and I don't know if that's going to be allowed to happen. I still hope to think that we have.
Well,
enough.
We got a court system,
yes.
and he can't control everything, and that I mean.
But I think his goal is to do that.
Yes, but he can't do it. He found that out. 61 trials, 61 court cases, and over 60%. Judges were appointed by him.
Here we go.
And they threw him out.
I hope that I'm going to die.
You want to die if Donald Trump doesn't win?
I don't want to live like this anymore. You like our country the way it is now?
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't really matter what I think, but you've got a pretty good life. You got nice clothes on, you got hat on, sunglasses, you got your health. I mean, the country's done pretty well by you, right?
No, the country hasn't done anything by me. I've done everything for myself. My husband and I took care of ourselves as we grew older. Now, when we got ready to retire, we had planned what we were going to do. Now, what is the country doing for me now? Do I get any interest on anything that I put away and saved?
Well, your money is safe, right?
I wouldn't say that.
You got access to health care?
I have access to health care because my husband served 20 years in the military.
Well, the military did nothing for your family. The military is trustworthy, right? Military healthcare system's great.
No, I wouldn't say it's great. We were promised free health care for our whole life, but that did not happen.
What is it that is so bad about where America is or where you are right now with America? That you would want to die if Donald Trump doesn't win?
I just don't want to live in a country that is screwed up as this one, that people are so out of control and that they think that everything that they're entitled to everything. What do you think about the stealing that's going on right now?
What do you mean stealing?
People walk into stores.
No, most people don't think that they're entitled to everything. I get so sick of that.
Okay, but she thinks she's entitled.
Yes, she's a hypocrite.
Yeah, she thinks she's entitled to health care and
Free
everything.
for the rest of her life.
Yeah, the country's...
And she's mad because apparently her investments aren't collecting the interest that she thinks they should, but whose fault is that? I mean,
Well, the fact of the freaking matter is that she does get a lot of her health care free.
Well,
the fact of the matter is, you know, whatever the hell you think of the country.
But she votes.
The country, you know, you still can go outside. You still can be an a-hole like her. You still can do what you want to do, you know, if it's lawful.
But see, people like that, they'll think that they should be allowed to do that for some entitled privilege. I don't know if it's, but they don't think other people who disagree with them should have the same.
They call themselves patriots, and they're not.
Well, she's wrapped in an American flag.
Yeah. Yeah, which is
exactly
desecration of a flag. You understand that?
Yes.
So, I mean.
But it's going to be thank God for sports. You know it?
Well, my week will consist of 3 nights in Carver Hawkeye Arena, 2 nights watching, or 2 days watching the women play basketball on TV, and going to Kinnick tomorrow. So it's
your life
every
revolves.
single day.
Your life revolves around Hawkeye sports.
This week.
Well, since I've known you, your life revolves. I mean, it's a major part of your life.
It is.
And there's a lot of people like you, but there's more people that aren't like you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but no, you've chosen to make Iowa Hawkeye sports a major part of your life, and that is your right.
This show takes up.
Of course, I don't watch any pro sports, so Iowa sports. That's the extent of my sporting.
This show takes up a good quarter of every day.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh, I just remember Hunter. I was listening yesterday, too, and Hunter got me all fired up for the World Series and the Cubs next year. When he was breaking down the hiring of Craig Counsell, which I don't have a problem with. It's fine. I'm glad they spent a little money, but you got to have players. It doesn't, I mean, if they don't sign some good players this offseason, because it doesn't sound like they're going to re-sign Bellinger. He wants 6 years, and they must think he's too old at 28. I mean, Craig Counsell won't do crap if they don't give him players.
No.
And maybe he's been assured that he's going to get players. That's what I'm hoping and thinking since he signed so quickly.
What?
Well, I've heard they're going after Pete Alonso. He can hit a lot of home runs. Doesn't hit much for average, I don't believe. But we'll see. They got to sign 2 or 3 good players.
Well, people think Biden's too old at 80. Hello.
Well, he is.
Hello.
Yeah, I know he is.
Hi, it's Ian. Backtracking to the Trump suicide.
Yeah.
You know, if her husband was 20 years in the military, she has a pension that they're living off of. And the health care she's referring to is probably TRICARE.
Which is terrific.
And it's the best frigging health coverage in the world.
Yeah.
My mom and my stepdad had it. My father had it. And Tom, Paul, and Linda have it, my brother and my sister-in-law, because they're retired Air Force.
Yep.
It's the best.
Yeah, no, I mean...
absolute best.
And that's what this guy was trying to point out to her.
Whining about.
Well, she's whining because Donald Trump's not president.
But she's sucking off the public tit.
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, say that again.
No. And you know, and all those years of service, that's the exchange. I mean, you don't get rich. You move around a lot. You risk your life, and the trade-off is, of course, then on the flip side, you get a pension and you get this good health care coverage, and that's what she's got.
Yeah, and I have no problem with that.
Yeah,
No.
you should.
Yeah.
Was she from Ohio?
I don't know where it was.
What?
I'm not sure where it took place.
Oh, okay, because that sounds exactly like a woman I met at the Suples tailgate a few years ago from Ohio.
What, she was blaming the government for everything?
Well, no, Trump had just been elected, and she was really upset because people weren't respecting him because he's the President of the United States. And I wanted to say, then I imagine you were really, really upset by all those Obama memes.
Yeah.
Of him as a pickaninny and all that other bullshoy that people were doing.
It's hypocrisy.
I did not say that. I just spun on my heel and marched away.
That's probably the best thing to do.
Okay,
It was, but it killed me.
so what is she sucking off of?
The public teeth.
Thank you, Ann.
You're welcome. I'll talk to you guys later.
But no, that lady sounds like she has a pretty good life.
Yes, she does.
And as somebody who doesn't have great health insurance,
She's a great woman, Pat.
I'm guarantee you, though, when they have a $40,000 surgery, almost all of it's paid for by the insurance, whereas my type of insurance, I got to pay almost a fourth of that. You know.
What you got there, Tommy?
I'm surprised she didn't summon one of our band callers with that comment. Fake Dirk. Oh, by the way.
Yes.
That Billie Eilish song that you love, that Steve.
I didn't say I loved it.
It's nominated for like a dozen Grammys.
Yeah, it's it's a good song.
Afternoon Delight. It's still.
But it was in the context of the movie. It was.
Okay,
I thought
but
excellent.
out of the context of the movie, it's a snooze. It's boring as all hell.
Well, you don't
I
like.
hate it.
You don't like pretty melodies.
I like pretty melodies.
No, you really don't.
Well, what pretty melodies don't I?
Isn't that Mindy Perry?
I like, Call Me Maybe.
Not a pretty melody.
What about You and Your Hand by Pink? That's a pretty melody.
How about Seasons in the Sun by Terry?
Not a pretty melody.
We had joy, we had fun, we had
No, you
seasons
can't
in
do
the-
that.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
Okay, I had a startling.
He's gonna make a rise over that.
I had a startling moment at the post office yesterday that I have to share with everybody.
Somebody paid us?
No, not that startling. It was a black dude singing "Break My Stride."
Wow!
And
listen,
I couldn't wrap my head around it.
Ross Wilburn, when we were doing a table to table, we were talking about songs, and I said to him, "What's your favorite song?" And Ross was, our first black mayor, and he goes, "Nice to Be With You" by Gallery. And I looked at him and I go,
so
"No, knock it off now. Can't do that."
I think you two would overlook. They're like, God, that's so pathetic. Why
Yeah.
bother?
What did he say?
Why bother?
That was his favorite song.
Yeah.
I go, what the?
How about the night Chicago died? Who does that one?
Paper Lace.
And then Andrew Gold, Lonely Boy.
Yeah.
Much better than Paper Lace.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paper Lace, the Orleans.
That Lonely Boy song, that is really kind of...
That's bad.
It's besides that, so he got mad that they had another child, that he had a sister. What the hell?
Now, you'll disagree with me, but I did not hate Chevy Van.
Well...
Sammy Johns?
I did not hate that song.
I didn't love it.
I did not... I can tolerate that one. That's better than We Had Joy, We Had Fun.
That is maybe the worst song ever.
Who did that? Is that Terry Jacks?
Terry
Yes.
Jacks.
Yeah.
Is he still alive?
I don't know.
You want him dead too?
No.
He wants the Trump voter and Terry Jacks both dead.
She said, if he doesn't get elected, I just want to die. Okay.
You're like the radio executioner. I'm kind of with you. I mean,
Goodbye.
I mean, that was just a bunch of whimpering,
So
whining.
stupid.
I don't think I could be around a person like that. I think
No, he's alive. He's alive.
You still having joy?
79.
No, I thought.
What's his net worth? $100 billion from that song?
I bet he made some money off that song, don't you
Oh,
think?
sure he did.
That was early 70s, wasn't it? Or was that late?
Yes, it was earlier mid.
$3 million. He's a record producer and he's an environmentalist. And he gives away a lot of his money.
Oh, good for him.
To environmental leagues.
He was a one-hit wonder, wasn't he?
Yes.
Okay, this.
How about Brandy?
Okay,
Who
this
does
is
Brandy?
Looking Glass.
Looking Glass.
So, but here on Media Mass, it says he has an estimated net worth of $185 million. He owes his fortune to stock investments and substantial.
So there is a
property
difference of
that
$182 million in the rest. That's like your guys' weather reports.
Yeah.
So one says he's worth $3 million.
Well,
the other
there's
says
more that say that he's worth more than less.
But he's not getting that from Seasons in the Sun.
No, he's getting it from real estate and investments.
So he invested his Seasons in the Sun money well.
Kind of like Denver Pyle.
Now, who you were saying?
Who did I just ask? I've already forgot who I just asked for. Denver Pyle, though. Remember him?
Yeah.
Briscoe Darling? He was a stock market wizard. He made a ton of money. But no, I can't remember who I just said. But we're really drifting.
Any
now.
chance we can end this thing?
Yeah.
I have nothing planned, Suter. We could go.
Don't you guys
You got Tommy Lang
got
coming
Tommy
up.
Hey Lang, police reports, menus.
Denver Pile net worth.
He's been dead for years.
Only $5 million, and that's everybody agrees.
But when did he die?
Okay.
Read the Wikipedia on him. He was a stock. He did some investments.
He was 77.
When did he die, though? What year?
1977.
Yeah, he's been dead.
Or 1997, rather.
Okay, so
he
he's
was
been
77.
26 years.
He's been dead for 26 years.
Quarter of a century.
Yeah.
But he made a lot of He made most of his money outside of what he did in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But he was in if you look, Denver, Gunsmoke, he was in a ton of different stuff.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
But yeah, he invested in the stock market.
No relation to Gomer Pyle, by the way.
None at all.
Or Goober Pyle.
God, what an awful show.
What, the
Gomer Pyle?
I like Sergeant Carter.
I
got to kick
Frank
out.
Surprise.
I can't hear you. I like that, but
Yeah,
no, it was hard to stay engaged. It was definitely.
You know, one of the worst shows that 1,800 channels are rerunning. Mama's Family.
Was that Vicki Lawrence?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
But see, I don't like most. Although you guys like the Golden Girls, I might join that Trump lady and kill myself.
I don't rush
to watch the
Golden Girls.
The Golden Girls.
It just was excruciating. It was okay at the time.
I liked it.
Yeah,
it's okay at the time.
I can't go there.
But I can watch like Married with Children's over and over again and laugh every freaking time because it is so stupid.
I don't know if I ever saw an episode of that. That was 80s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's when I was on the road with bands. So.
You know that Twitter account?
Well, it was 89. It was 89 to like 98.
So I could have, but I didn't watch it.
Well,
But didn't you guys like
you
Blossom?
were foolish then.
You guys like Blossom and the Gilmore Girls? And
I didn't watch Blossom.
Gilmore Girls is great.
I never watched that.
Okay. I thought one of you guys liked Blossom.
No. Yeah.
Okay. I'm getting you mixed up with somebody else.
Yeah, I think that's Rob.
Blossom. Did either one of you guys watch In the Heat of the Night?
Yeah.
Series? I love it.
Yeah.
It's still on reruns now.
Yeah.
Most of them are dead.
Yeah.
I mean, Howard Rollins has been dead he's been dead since 1996. Archie's been dead since 2001, and his kid committed suicide in 95. That's how long those guys have been gone.
That's awful.
But that show came out in 88. It came out a long time ago. But it was a good show and a great movie. One of my all-time favorite movies. And I'm sure you guys have seen.
Call Me Mr. Tibbs.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Rod Steiger, right?
Yeah.
He was so good in that movie.
Yeah.
Good script, everything. Great acting.
Yeah.
What's that?
Sidney Poitier.
Yeah, he was great in that movie.
He's great in almost everything.
To Sir with Love, I love him.
I have never seen him.
Love.
Yeah, To Sir with Love.
Guess who's coming to dinner?
Yeah.
I mean, Spencer Tracy's speech at the end and the priest who's drunk wanting to fight him.
But we knew who was coming to dinner
And-
because he was in the starring credits.
And
That's
Mrs. Jefferson. She was the house. No, that's a great movie.
Wheezy.
And then Spencer Tracy died like 20 days after they finished filming it. He was a great actor.
He was my
Yes, he
favorite
was.
at that.
He was my dad's favorite actor.
He was he is one of my favorite actors now. He was my favorite.
He was great in that movie. Yeah. That's just one of those movies that's on. I'll be like, damn, now I know what I'm going to do for the next hour and a half. That's just, it's one of those where I start watching it.
Yeah.
I can't stop watching it because it's so good. So, all right, well, all right, before we go, I've got Iowa winning 11-10.
I don't feel very comfortable with this game, to be honest.
So
with
you're
you.
more worried about this game than you were going into Minnesota.
Yes.
Okay, because I do think Rutgers is better than Minnesota.
I'll go 13-10 Iowa.
What if it was in New Jersey? Would you do the similar score, just shift it to Rutgers?
Probably,
Yeah, that's probably what I would do, too.
Yeah.
What do you think?
10-6 Iowa. Well,
and we laugh about it, guys,
yeah,
but
because
it's not
every week.
Because
it keeps going down.
Well, yeah. Remember when I was like, "Oh, they're gonna have." 20
I did see. I'm thinking of There's a. Have you ever Googled the Washington offensive coordinator?
I've heard people talk about
Ryan
him.
Grubb?
Yes,
He's from Kingsley Pearson. He makes a ton of money. I say to myself, if I was Kirk, I would just go into Beth and say, "Okay, fine. You want us to get better? I'll lower my salary by $500,000, or let's go get this guy, because I believe he's making like $2 million out at Washington.
I think he is.
Their offense is lights out. Let's go get this guy.
Completely lights
And
out.
I think if Iowa did it the right way, if they wanted to throw it all in, they could say, hey, you come here, we'll pay you this, we'll match or you pay you more, and if things work out, you can be the next head coach. Because I've had people say, oh, that's ridiculous. Nobody like that would even give us the time of day. I'm not so sure about that. I mean, I've seen some lists that have been pretty underwhelming. You know, to me, I think Kirk needs to hit. I think he needs to hit a home run here. But I also think he needs help from the administration to help him. You know, they need to, and then you're also going to have to raise Phil Parker's salary.
You bet.
They
And
could eat.
He's
Tom,
worth it. Whatever they pay Phil Parker, he's worth it.
To me, they could easily afford to pay both coordinators $2 million a year.
I agree.
They could come up with another $2 million easily. That's what it would require. Brian was close to $1 million. Phil's over $1 million now. Move Phil up to $2 million. Go up to this Ryan Grubb and say, listen, man. I mean, he's got strong ties to the Midwest. He graduated from Kingsley Pearson High School, and it may be one of those things where it's a complete long shot. But that's what I think Kirk needs to at least make an effort to try to hit a home run.
Hello.
Hey there.
Hey.
Captain and Suter.
Yeah.
You guys are the money guys for the station.
Sure.
Here's what I think.
Okay.
Now hear me out. 27.
Jesus, just wrap it up.
All right.
Okay.
Get to it. Well, no.
I meant
go a little faster.
Go, yeah.
Yeah, he meant to just get to the point.
Yeah.
I think you offended him.
Yeah.
I don't care.
He's a pretty good caller.
Yeah, I know that, but I said, you know,
he
just
misinterpreted.
was hemming and hawing, and I just wanted, okay.
Yeah, I know where you're coming
Okay,
from.
I hope this is him.
Hello.
Guys, we're going to give it by 14.
Okay.
4-2?
Yeah, 4-2. Okay.
All right.
Well, that'd be
I
three
think-
safeties.
Yeah,
I guess.
I wasn't telling him.
No, I know
not
you
to.
weren't.
I know.
Hello.
27-13 Iowa. If that happens, Captain, $100 to me. I give it to table to table.
No.
27-13.
How much did he
I'm
have?
giving you $100 to give the table
Well,
to
no,
table.
match. I meant, hey, Captain. I meant match.
Oh, you
guys
match
don't
him.
Giving away $100. I give the table to table a lot of money.
Okay, here we go then. If it's 27-13, I'll donate $100 to table to table. You don't have to do it.
Okay.
That would be nice.
There
of
you go.
You know
Welcome.
something?
Have a good show.
You know something? You should donate it to table anyway.
I get a mailer every year, and we do it, both of us.
Okay.
Boy.
Yeah.
So there you go.
We appreciate it. All right.
Enjoy.
Damn
Thank
it.
you.
Oh, we ended on a happy
Don't hang
note.
up on me next time.
Yeah,
It's
we
a-
ended on a happy note.
Yeah.
He had a great thing that he was talking
So what's the
about.
next? What's the song that's coming on right now?
Commercials.
Then can you tell what the next song is? Is that
I could.
You think it's a good one?
I guarantee
yeah,
it.
You will like it. You will like it.
You think I will like it?
I think you will like it.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
You're not going to say on the air what it is? What are you going to build up the suspense?
I'm building up this. Yeah, this is my song of the week.
Okay. All right. Everybody have a good weekend. Enjoy the still decent weather, and hopefully you got a lot of Hawkeye victories this week.
All right, go Hawks and HawkFanatic.com.